Reese, when it comes to tradition, LSU is second to none, and here's one of their best. The Tiger Walk from Broussard Hall down Victory Hill and into Tiger Stadium for a big one in the SEC West. LSU season has both tried the patience and teased the imagination of their Bayou faithful.
Pass is broken up and LSU wins. LSU has beaten Tennessee in overtime.
Tonight, 90,000 have filled this stadium with high hopes for an upset as the Tigers prepare to defend Death Valley. Yet again, Mississippi State ranks among the SEC's elite. A fighting defense, a lot of bark. The Bulldog statement comes across loud and clear. Tonight, they'll talk some more and try and back it up again with full knowledge that every win is one step closer to being called conference champion.
We're gonna take it out. We're gonna take it out. Ain't no doubt.
Well, easier said than done. And Tiger Stadium, newly expanded, it holds 91,000 plus. A big one tonight. Number 14, Mississippi State, ready to take on the 4-3 LSU Tigers. And on the line tonight, nothing short of first place in the SEC West, with Alabama's loss earlier today to Tennessee, throwing it wide open. Should LSU win, they join that tie. And in fact, if they win out, they are, for the first time ever, the SEC West champions. Hard to believe, isn't it? Jackie Sherrill, his 10th year as the head coach of Mississippi State. And over the last 3, they are the best in the West. 10 wins last year, maybe even better this year. Somehow they still can't crack the top 10. Nick Saban, his first LSU team, already has proven good enough to beat Tennessee and shut out Kentucky, but inconsistent enough to lose at home to UAB. Which LSU team shows up tonight? Welcome to Baton Rouge. Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, and Mike Golick. Nick Saban, every week wondering, is this going to be the season that will be the Dow Jones year? From start to finish, up one week, down the next week. If there's one player, Bill, that personifies that trend that they hope to snap tonight, has to be quarterback Josh Booty.
Oh, indeed. Josh Booty has struggled mightily with interceptions. 29 in just his first 2 years. That's 5.8% of his total passes. Number 1 in the nation in that stat. That's a stat in which you do not wish to be number 1 in the nation. But there is progress. A week ago, 15 out of 33 for 3 touchdowns, and most importantly, 0 interceptions. But that was then. This is now. That was Kentucky on defense, and Mike Golick, this is not Kentucky on defense.
No,
tonight.
it is not. This Mississippi State defense is a dominating defense. Number 1 in the land, giving up just 24 yards against the run per game. All right, I got my stat out of the way. Watch these guys. They are a lot of fun. They love disguising their defenses. You'll see the free safety up on the line. You'll see defensive linemen covering the receivers. Don't worry, Mississippi State fans, they won't cover them during the play as well. These guys will run around. They'll slap each other on the back. They'll yell. They'll scream. They take after their defensive coordinator, Joe Lee Dunn, is a very charismatic coordinator. They're a very charismatic defense, Dave, but the bottom line is they're a great defense.
Who is more intimidating, the Mississippi State defense or Mike the Fifth? You decide. Kickoff coming up. Few places like it for nighttime football. Tiger Stadium, near capacity tonight. Mississippi State ready to take on LSU in a battle with first place in the SEC West on the line, and it is 75 degrees, not that humid for these parts. Partly cloudy day, not that much of a wind, less than 4 miles per hour. And let's send it down to the field and welcome Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Dave. Well, Mississippi State's defense is getting a lot of attention, but the offense wants some too. They came into this season with one goal, and that was to reinvigorate the running game. Jackie Sherrill reminded them that it was just 2 years ago, 1998, they were third in the SEC with rushing at about 172 yards a game. Now, last year, those numbers dipped way down, but this season, behind a very strong offensive line, the numbers have improved, and they are second in the conference. Credit also goes to DeCenzo Miller. He's coming off 2 consecutive games of 100-plus yards rushing, but he's also coming off back-to-back nights in the hospital this week with intestinal pain. Now, we met with him last night, and he said he feels about 85% healthy. But, Dave, how about this? 2 nights in the hospital, total rest, got completely rehydrated. He actually gained 2 pounds. His legs tonight may be fresher than they've been all season long. Back up to you?
That was the surprise that he mentioned. Not only is he not feeling weak, if anything, maybe a little fresh legs and added power, even despite the pains of earlier in the week, may have him on course for as big a night as he has enjoyed his last 2 times out. LSU has won the toss. They have elected to defer. And set for the opening kick is John Corbello, sophomore from Lafayette. He'll kick it deep to the Mississippi State tandem of Dante Walker. We'll see quite a bit probably at the tailback, backing up Miller, and Pete Prather, one of the dog safeties for Mississippi State. Until last year, a 1-point win in Starkville for State, 7 straight LSU victories in this series. Walker bringing this one out from 5 yards deep. And met at the 17. So from that point, Wayne Madkin, the junior from Huntsville, Alabama, will go to work. He is packed on 20 pounds after a strenuous off-season lifting program. 54% completions, 3 touchdowns. Miller off 2 tremendous games back-to-back. Williamson is the fullback. Grindle, Huntington, the wideouts, and Donald Lee, the 240-pound tight end from Phoebe, Mississippi. And they personify balance. They average 167 yards on the ground, 169 yards through the air. They are all about power, not about fueling you. But from the eye, where they normally run it, they throw it. And this pass, intended for the fullback, Williamson, is incomplete. The enormous front line, including the pork chop, Floyd Womack, Lee, Fair, Watson, and Fairchild. 323 pounds per man up front for the Tigers. Kipps, Barnes, Green, and Green, their cousins.
Yep, and a big key on defense up front. Muskingum Barnes, number 91, an undersized DT, but tough as nails.
Coaches call him Ty. I think we should too.
Yep, it'll be tied for the rest of the evening.
Larry Huntington in motion, and Madkin again on play action. Into the air, and it's caught by Grindle. Terrell Grindle has a touchdown. 82 yards on the second play from scrimmage. Didn't take Jackie Sherrill long to go to work on the true freshman. Starting at right corner, Aaron DeMond burned on the second snap of the night. So for a team not noted for the deep passing game, a big first blow for Mississippi State. And for the extra point, Scott Westerfield, senior out of Brandon, Mississippi. Rocky Good is the referee. Good with the ball set. Miller is the holder. Michael Bender with the snap. 7-0 Bulldogs. 25 seconds into it.
A very difficult way to start your career as a starting corner in the Southeastern Conference. This is a simple play action. Nice job of faking. It's nothing but a fly pattern. Grindle runs right by Damone. The youngster makes the mistake of going up, thinking he can get the ball. Misjudged it. It cost him 6 points. You had to know they would go after him early.
True freshman, got to fear that, and the worst nightmare realized, and the happiest moment, maybe the first quarter all year for Wayne Madkin.
He's a guy he thought Damon, who thought he could make the play. As Bill, as you said, freshman mistake. He thought he was there in coverage, thought he could time his jump. He timed it wrong, went right over the arm. Mississippi State, how about them? The big old line. They come out 2 passes right out of the gate, going deep, hitting it early.
That's an offense that feels a little bit overshadowed, maybe a lot overshadowed by their defense. They get so much more attention, and deservedly so.
Yeah, what we sensed from the players last night is they're really anxious to move up and compete the way the defense does, and that's a heck of a way to start. And I think really the one thing LSU could not afford in this game was to let Mississippi State jump out with big plays, and I was thinking that if it were to happen, it would happen from the defense.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where Mississippi State usually hits, is from the defense creating the big plays for their offense. But as we've been talking about, starting from Michelle in the open, the offense wants a little bit of respect for themselves, and that's certainly the way to get it.
Westerfield kicking to Dominic Davis, and Gerald Myers started to scramble at the 38. Mississippi State pointing in their direction.
Well, there's a fight. The referee pulling everybody. You gotta love that.
Mississippi State not borne out by Rocky Good's indication that LSU comes up with the recovery.
I guarantee you somebody at the bottom of that pile took that ball away.
Yep.
How many times you been in one of those wars, Mike?
Let me tell you what, there's a whole lot of kicking and punching in there.
Ryan O'Neal and Eric Edwards on the bottom of that scramble for the Tigers.
Just tried a little pooch kickoff, went right through the arms of the receiver. It looked like Mississippi State had it underneath there, and then we know about the fight that goes on in there.
So after all that, good field position. The Tigers snap it from their 36. And Josh Booty with the give. LeBrandon Tofield, the redshirt freshman tailback, and Dorsett Davis on the stop. Booty, after a stint mostly in the minor leagues for the Florida Marlins, now all football, junior out of Shreveport, highly recruited. Tofield in the backfield with Banks the fullback. Myers, Robinson are the wideouts. Royal is the tight end. And you'll see an awful lot of Josh Reed, their leading receiver. We may see some of Rohan Davey. He is ready to go, but only if needed. Ankle and knee problems have really hampered his junior year. Booty with a roll, and the completion goes to midfield to Reggie Robinson, a first down gain of 12 yards. See a lot of different O-line combinations for LSU, but they start with Reed, Sale, Williams, Pierce, and Whining. And the defensive line, Davis, Galladay, Blade, and Wims.
Big D-line for Mississippi State. The O-line for LSU averages under 300 pounds. They liken themselves to the Denver Broncos to say, we'll beat you with technique, but we're still going to try and hit you in the face.
LSU hit by the early blast, the 82-yard Brindle touchdown pass from Madkett. Now they fight their way into Mississippi State territory. Tofield at the 49. The linebacking crew, Stevens and Hagan. And they go 5 deep in the secondary. Dog safeties, combination linebacker, D-back, Prather, Clinton, Robertson, and Smoot, the loquacious one from the corner. Morgan is the free safety.
Yep, and the reason that linebacker list is so short is because of the 5 DBs. Eugene Clinton, 14, Pick Prather, 29, are the wild dog safeties. They're all over the field. They love to smash.
Prather, as you see, leads this team with 5 sacks. Running up from dog safety. Snap from the Bulldog 49. Booty lets it fly, and no Tiger receiver even close to that one. If you compare the stats of Booty and Davey, you have to think that if they're both healthy, Davey gets the playing time. He completes 64%, Booty 49%. Davey 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Booty 10 touchdowns, but 10 interceptions.
Yeah, and we noticed a morale factor. It seems like the players really sort of take to Davey. So Josh has got to win his team. Made a big stride last week. Now he's up against a different kind of creature in this Mississippi State defense.
The plan is, if everything goes well with Booty, they stick with Josh tonight. Now 3rd and 7. Hanging one deep out of the gun. This is for Josh Reed, and their leading receiver, converted tailback, can't come up with it.
This is a situation LSU did not want to be in. Nick Saban said, we've got to be in 3rd down and 4, 3rd down and 3. If we're in 3rd and 7 or more, Mississippi State, there's too much they can do.
They're going to be bailed out here. Offsides call against the Bulldogs.
Now they get put in the position they want. Now it's 3rd down and 3, so your options open up a little bit.
Yeah, and those D linemen get to meet Joe Lee Dunn when they run off the field to explain how they could have lined up offside. Michael, do you have any experience with that?
Well, you're just trying. There's Joe Lee Dunn there, a very charismatic coach. You're just trying to get all the ball. You get all the ball in that D line.
Yeah, but don't get that which is going to get you called.
A whole lot different now on 3rd and 2. They can run it, and Cofield banging forward, breaking tackle to the 31, where he's finally corralled by Clinton. Not until a gain of 13.
This is what I liked about the attitude of the LSU team and the coaches is they said, yeah, okay, Mississippi State gets up only 24 yards a game running. How are we going to go after them? Well, we're going to go right after them. We're going to run straight ahead. We're going to try and go right over the guards or right over the tackle and just try and go right into the teeth of that defense. That's where we think we can make some yards.
This is a nice job of angles. The guy with the big head right there, Dwayne Pierce, number 78, had the key block, the right guard. Nice job.
Mario Hagan had him, lost it. How costly will the offsides be now? Booty ready to fire it. So Robinson makes the catch at the 11. Beating Kendall Robertson, the experienced 6th-year senior corner. And a gain of 20.
Certainly a good way to win over your team as you move your team down into the end zone. Nice play fake. Good job setting up in the pocket. Good poise in the pocket. Sets his feet and fires, and a good route coming out. They want to be 50-50 on 1st down. They don't want to be known as either running on 1st down or passing. They really want to mix it up.
25 straight games with at least one catch for Reggie Robinson. Not quite 1st and goal. Snap it from the 11 punt to Cofield, cuts it up, and touchdown before the fumble. He lost it after crossing the goal line. An 11-yard touchdown run. LeBrandon Cofield. Didn't take long for the Bulldogs to score. Doesn't take much longer for LSU to answer.
I'll tell you, this is exactly what the LSU doctor ordered. Come right down the field, hit them at their strength. This is what Coach Saban told us about. Knock them back, run the football, but to take it in the end zone on the first drive, whoa, football game.
Saban has seen that Dow Jones tendency already played out. I mean, played 3 minutes.
Well, they're into their most recent NASDAQ trend right now.
Well,
thank you.
But again, will it last? Corbello adds the extra point. And we're tied at 7. Cofield, who sat 2 years, one with a knee injury, one red shirt last year, 4th touchdown of his LSU career. Well, Cofield credited with the tying touchdown, even though he coughed it up. They said just beyond the goal line. It's a 7-play, 64-yard drive. And Booty hit the 2 of 3. The big one, a 20-yard strike down to the 11 to Robinson. However, as we will show you on further review, we'll raise some questions. Walker back deep along with Prather. Prather on the left. And the kick by Corbello. To the 15, and at the 20, it ends for DeCenzo Miller's return. Now, the officials didn't really hesitate. They said, no question, he was in before he fumbled. Was he? No, he wasn't.
Not even close. That ball was clearly out before he got to the goal line. They signaled touchdown right away. Again, we're getting the benefit of the slow motion into replay, but the referee is standing right there. He's got to see that one.
I agree.
And then he collided with the tight end, Royal. They both got shaken up in the celebration. And it took them a while to make their way to the bench. Back where we started, tied up, 3 minutes in. Running play is stopped by Barnes and big Kendrick Allen, 300-pound defensive end. And the rest of the starting lineup for LSU, the backers, Lawrence, Falk and James, the two you want to watch.
Yeah, Falk definitely the one you want to see. 80 tackles, averaging double-digit tackles all over the field.
LSU secondary, Booker and DeMond already burned. And the safeties, Clark and Thomas. Justin Griffith in the Mississippi State backfield. And his carry only to the 24. It'll be 3rd and 6 from there. Let's send it down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, Aaron DeMond had quite a time on the bench after giving up that opening touchdown. Head coach Nick Saban had a pep talk with him. Nearly every member of the LSU defense spent time with him, telling him, don't apologize. And then he got a phone call from the defensive staff in the booth, but nothing appeased him until LSU scored that touchdown. Then his teammates told him, hey, new ball game.
Well, he's starting because Demetrius Hookstead had been burned early and often this season before last week. And it has cost him his starting job, at least for today.
He'll get a little action right here, I believe.
Flag is down, whistled. Prior to the snap, they can't get Madkin's attention, though. He thinks, wow, this is great. 75-yard touchdown.
Wayne's so proud of his new body. He's 225 pounds. The last time we saw him in the Peach Bowl, he was 200 soaking wet. Plus, he's faster, so he was just having fun working out those legs of his.
I'd have had to come off to the sideline for a little oxygen, waste a run like that.
Yeah, but it didn't bother him, and if I looked like that, I'd run too, and pass. I don't know if you noticed it, Mike, but Mississippi State has changed up their tendency. They get an I formation and throw, straight backs, and run. That's the opposite of what they've been doing this year.
They were normally a pretty vanilla offense. You'd run, split, you'd pass, and say, we're just going to perform it.
We have 2 fouls on the offense. The first one, red ball, false start on the offensive line. 5 yards, remaining 3rd down. The second one is a dead ball, personal foul against the offense. Still 3rd down.
Wow. Mike, you weren't with us, but Dave, in the Peach Bowl, Mississippi State was penalized 21 times. It's a record for bowl games, and they're off to a start where they might break it tonight unless they shape up.
Well, there's no doubt somebody said something because there was no place, there was no hit personal foul. Somebody had to say something that the referee didn't particularly like.
And if it had been somebody hit, you would have seen it, wouldn't you, Big Mike?
Oh, yeah.
This is what makes Death Valley what it is. Deafening for 3rd and 20. Miller flips over the middle and breaks 1 tackle, maybe 2, and then spun down right near the original line of scrimmage at the 20. And here comes a late flag after the tackle.
Well, these guys are feeling each other out right now. Everyone wants to get that last hit in. Nobody wants to give up. Nobody wants to give it up and say, I got pushed last.
All football games are rough, but if you are you faint of heart, you do not want to be between those white lines tonight. There is no place for the faint of heart.
Yeah, Mississippi State comes in with the reputation as one of the most physical teams in the land.
Well, they're running into a physical team that wants to take them on tonight, and you can tell.
Stay strong against the defense. 5 yards from the end of the run. It will remain 3rd down.
Well, the Bulldogs have been hit with some costly flags and a real costly LSU penalty here.
Big, strong, powerful people smashing here. A wonderful running back. I asked DeCenzo about his balance, and he actually practices this against the scout team every week. He spins, twists, turns, gets them in the spot for a 1st down, especially with the face mask.
And that's the freshman DeMond. All for the penalties at a 3rd and 20, 3rd and 4, and Madkin dropping deep out of the shotgun. Nobody there. He's got to throw it away.
Well, they tried to set up a screen that time, but LSU read it beautifully.
Now, on the first drive, that's the first time LSU has given up a touchdown on the opening drive in 13 games. But they got them stopped on the 2nd drive, and what we've got here is a very engaged LSU crowd, and that is big for the Bayou Bengals.
So Prentice Cole, senior from Philadelphia, Mississippi, 3rd in the SEC with a 43-yard average. To have one blocked all year. Back deep, Dominic Davis. And signals fair catch at the 28. A lot going on with 9:23 still to go. First quarter, 7-7, Tiger Stadium. Bulldogs score on their first possession, their second play, in fact. LSU comes right back. They score on their first possession. They hold Mississippi State on their second possession. And now we see what the Tigers do with that after a 46-yard punt by Cole, 28-yard line. Reed goes in motion. And sliding all the way near the 35 is Tofi.
Yeah, and he's
shaken up after his touchdown. Let's send it to Reese Davis. What is going on with Virginia Tech tonight?
Well, Dave, the Hokies were in trouble at halftime, down 14-3. Lee Suggs has scored once. Now Lee Suggs has scored twice. Virginia Tech went for two both times. Rod and I questioning that. It's a 15-14 game. Oregon State and UCLA locked up at 31 in the fourth.
Oregon State, the higher-ranked team. Make note of that. Maybe once every 3 generations. If that, 2nd and 5. And again, the leg drive for Tofield evident into the pile at the 35. LSU, which team shows up? Evidence here against UAB at home. 6 turnovers. Somehow they lose 13-10, but against Tennessee they turn it over just once. And they win it in overtime, 38-31 against Florida. 4 giveaways and a 41-9 defeat to the Gators. But against Kentucky, they don't turn it over at all. And they shut out a Hal Mumme team for the first time since he has been a coach at Kentucky or anywhere else. 3rd and 3. Rudy well protected. The throw is caught by the tight end, Robert Wool. And he's at the 48 with a first down, a gain of 13 yards. So, what it comes down to is if they turn it over, they lose. If they don't, they win.
Well, there's a shock, huh?
Surprise, surprise. And what they need to do right here, they have already accomplished. They need to change field position. They've already driven it out of their territory, very close to the territory of Mississippi State. And sure, they'd like to go down and score every time. But failing that, they'll at least be able to punt them deep. And they're running it right at their strength.
Tigers with 4 wides. And Booty, a little bit of a bubble screen. Only a gain of 2 for Reed as Fred Smoot comes up and reads it.
And complementing the excellent running and the work up front by the offensive line for LSU is excellent play by Josh Booty to this point. He's been precision, he's been poised, and Mike, I think he looks better than he did last week.
Yeah, and we'll get into talking about Josh Booty. Here's a guy, admittedly, has been trying too hard out there, trying to do more than he should be doing, trying to do more than the team needs him to do. If he can stay within the confines of this offense and what they want to do, they can be successful.
That is really the whole issue as far as this coach is concerned. Let's try to make the play that's not there. He's 5 out of 6 through the air. Robinson stretches to the 41, into the 42, and sensed that and has the first down. Boy, coming out of Evangel Academy in Shreveport, Josh Booty was all everything. Look at those numbers just from his senior year alone. He was the high school player of the year for Parade and USA Today. For his career, national record, 11,700 yards, 126 touchdowns. But he went for baseball after languishing for 5 years in the Marlins organization as a third baseman. Finally made it, but just for 13 games at the major league level. He was 7 for 26, 4 RBIs, 9 strikeouts. He decided football wasn't so bad after.
And also what's going on is when he was in baseball, he was in the minors with Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod from Seattle. A-Rod goes up to the bigs very quickly. Josh does not. Now, when Josh was playing football, he was in high school around the time Peyton Manning was. He saw how Peyton Manning quickly was successful in the pros, and he kind of thinks, you know what, I need to jump up that quickly as well. Hence, he's trying too hard on field. He's trying to be an NFL quarterback in college right now. He's trying to do too much. He just needs to do what he's doing right now. Take what the defense is giving him and move him down the field.
The NFL careers are made, sounds like such a cliche, but they're trying to teach him to make play by play by play. You stack them together if you have enough good ones. Then it all works out. 1 yard for Tofield. We go down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, you guys been talking about Booty. Nick Saban asked a good friend of his, a sports psychologist, Dr. Lonnie Rosen, to meet with Booty. His biggest concern being outcomes, wins and losses, instead of the process of playing. And Booty says he's learning to focus more on each individual play rather than trying to score 3 touchdowns on a single drive, as he put it. Back to you.
I mean, there's every reason to think just in terms of talent and smarts, he'll get where he wants to go if he has the priorities straight on the field, and so far so good. Motion from Royal to tight end. Tofield continues to pound the middle with less success as this first quarter rolls on.
Bringing in the sports psychologist, that's something that happens a lot in the NFL, now starting to happen in college. I don't know if I've been a big fan of that. I don't know if I am. I used to get the ink blots wrong all the time, so I guess I wasn't a big fan. But Billy, you like the sports psychologist thing?
Well, I think there'd be a staff required to look at you, Mike, and we would have to evaluate you in all kinds of areas. But seriously, no. Yeah, I really like it if it's the right guy, and you've got to have a young person who wants to be helped. It's like anything else, self-help stuff. You've got to want to be receptive to the thinking.
Well, he seems to want to be, but he's also up against the play clock. He just does beat the 25 seconds. Firing for the side, and a strike for Robinson, who makes the catch inbounds at the 27. He has been near perfect tonight. Robinson 13 yards from Booty.
That was a beautiful timing route. He threw the ball before the break. It was fantastic. And then Robinson on the break, you're taught he comes back. It's an angle route back on the cut. That ball was thrown before Robinson even turned. That was perfect execution by quarterback and receiver. They have got it going right now.
Yep, and that was protection for about 4.5 seconds, Mike. And if they get that, he'll eat them alive.
Hasn't really been very much yet. The toss to Tofield looks in vain for cutback alley, and Willie Blade actually helps him gain a couple with the ball forward. ESPN's Monday night countdown begins at 7:30 Eastern. A review of the entire slate of Sunday's games. Live reports from Monday Night Football. Mike Tirico, the host, joined by Ron Jaworski, Tom Jackson, Sterling Sharp. And then Monday Night Football on ABC, 9 Eastern this week from East Rutherford, the Dolphins and the Jets. Vinny Testaverde and the Jets look to continue their run through the AFC East. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime NFL football. 10th play of the drive coming up. Rudy rolling and hitting Reed, who is inside the 10, first and goal, beating Josh Morgan for 15 yards.
One of the things that LSU had as an objective, Coach Jimbo Fisher, offensive coordinator, wanted to isolate the free safety, Josh Morgan, in one-on-one coverage. Josh is right here coming across, following the man in motion. He's in man coverage. Booty already knows that because he came across wide open. Tough for that free safety to cover a gifted receiver like Reed.
From the eye, Tofield. A huge collision with Pig. Big Prather at the 7. Edward Devon Prather to his family.
Hey, Mike, Pig went backwards.
I'm telling you what.
Field took him on.
We talked about this Mississippi State defense, and they love to have some fun, laugh, and have a good time and backslap. There's none of that going on right now. LSU is taking it to them. They're used to being offensive on the defensive, going after and setting the tone. LSU is setting the tone on them.
Hey, they ain't having no fun, I'll tell you that. They get knocked around by the guys with the yellow hat.
Number 1 run defense in the country. 24 yards the average. Just the second incompletion for Booty, intended for Reed. Hard to believe some of the numbers that Joe Lee Dunn's defense has strung together this year. 42 yards already now given up on the ground.
We will say that includes sacks in college. So they have 21 sacks. Really, if you take the sacks out, they're giving up 59 yards a game on the ground just rushing, which is still a great stat. I think the NCAA should take that out. They should not count sacks against rushing.
The sacks ought to be taken out of passing.
Yeah.
Tigers haven't missed a third down yet, but they have goal to go from the 7. And Booty rolling, chased by Prather, throw to the end zone, caught, touchdown, Myers. seen is the LSU that Nick Saban has been waiting all season for. And it's seen only on occasion. Extra point, John Corbello, 14-7. Jackie Sherrill said that real important to make this Tiger crowd turn on their own team, and if you stay up early, they'll do that on occasion. But boy, another perfectly executed drive by Josh Booty, ending in Gerald Myers' 7-yard touchdown catch. And the Tigers, who were down 7-0 after 2 plays, are up by 7. Thanks to Myers, the wideout from Houston. Larry Huntington is deep along with Dante Walker. Corbello's kick will be angled to Walker. Well, a big 225-pounder. He backs up Miller at tailback, the return to the 25.
Third base can be an advantage to a quarterback. Nice job of playing within himself. Again, it's just like going to your right at third and having to come off the ground and make the long throw. Perfect throw.
Myers just runs the out route. Smoot's there to cover, but he peeks into the backfield when Josh Reed comes in. He doesn't stay to the outside. That's his coverage.
Now, Joe Lee Dunn is all about giving his players freedom, but you have to be where you're supposed to be at the given time. And you'll hear from him if you're not there. Walker is in for Miller at tailback. Adkin fake to Walker and throws to Grindle, who has the Bulldog touchdown of 82 yards. This one goes for 15.
Well, Mississippi State really needs to drive here. Matkin, that was a nice throw. That's where his strength came into play. Good read by Kipps, the defensive end, staying out there. Matkin had to back up and still got some good loft on the ball. That 20 pounds comes in handy.
Is that what that was? Good loft? Good loft on the ball.
He lifted weights, but that wasn't all. He lifted forks with pork chop bowling. Oh, yeah, that was a big factor, too. Walker on the carry. Slamming into Howard Green. Right defensive tackle.
We're seeing an LSU rush defense that's only given up 3 rushing touchdowns this year. That's first in the SEC. So they're pretty tough at the point of attack, but taking away what Mississippi State most wants to do.
Walker picked up the yard. 2nd down and 9.
On 2nd and 8, Madkin back in the gun. Walker and Griffith split on either side. And they come after him. Madkin elusive in the open field and smacked at the 48-yard line by the corner, Robert Davis, a couple of yards shy of the first. Let's send it down to Michelle.
Dave, guys, in all our talks with the LSU coaches yesterday, the theme was our players can't get frustrated by the Bulldog defense. They will set the tone in this game. Well, right now, the Bulldog defense is very frustrated. They came to the bench, helmets were being thrown, voices were raised, conversation was intense. The tables have turned for the moment, Dave.
That's a group that likes to get their smack talks, too, and right now it's been handed right back at them. And again, they fight 3rd and 2 and the crowd. Madkin chased, almost intercepted, intended for Griffith. How close that was to a pick for Trev Falk.
Boy, he gets this one. He is absolutely gone. Again, 80 tackles on the year, 6 behind the line, but he can cover pretty well himself. Got his eyes on him all the way. Oh, hits him right in the helmet. Come on, Trev. You're a better athlete than that. You got to get those hands up there. D. Lyman would have had it.
What? Come again on that?
D. Lyman would have been injured by the ball.
Did I say that out loud? Oh, I'm sorry.
Who can he close? Good gracious.
His first effort into the wind, a 46-yarder. Davis watches this one sail into the end zone.
Let's go to the end zone.
A 52-yarder. For the former walk-on from Hines Junior College in Mississippi.
Well, very interesting for the Mississippi State defense now. We met with some of their players last night. And again, they're a fun-loving group. They have a great time. They back it up for the most part on the field. Right now, they're not backing it up, so you're not hearing the chatter you normally hear, and they're getting chattered at on the sideline by Joe Lee Dunn. So I'd imagine at some point this is going to be a pretty intense group. If they haven't been now, they're going to have to be very soon.
Dominic Davis, sophomore, Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, gets the carry in there for LeBrandon Tofield at tailback. And Toby Galladay brings him down after the short game. That last drive for Josh Booty, just a near perfection, taking whatever was there. And impressive numbers for Josh through the first quarter. 8 out of 10, 89 yards and a score.
Picks up 1 yard. Second down 9.
This for a guy who for the year is 49%. Last week against Kentucky, for the first time in his career here, he did not throw an interception. That one in a crowd could well have been one intended for Reggie Robinson. Even with his 39-inch leap, he couldn't bring it down, and neither could any of the Bulldogs.
That beautifully executed drive was kept alive because of the presence and the accuracy of Josh Booty. 4 different receivers. Robert Royal, the tight end. Now to the sideline for Robinson. Now to Robinson on the other sideline. Now to Reed. And the touchdown to Gerald Myers, who makes a catch for the 19th consecutive game to score that touchdown. That's just great execution. Something brand new for Booty.
Tigers perfect on third down so far. And if Robinson doesn't take his eyes off that strike, they stay perfect.
And that was the first time tonight that they had a 3rd and long, a situation they wanted to stay out of. And this was an easy completion. You're going to see him turn his head downfield right as the ball's hitting him. Watch his head. Right as the ball hits him, he peeks downfield. Don't look downfield. Catch the ball first. You learn that very early.
They come after the punt by Johnny Jones. No flag on the return. It's Huntington. And he leads to midfield and still on his feet. And it's strapped all the way to the 46 of the Tigers. And the fans want to know, what about the contact against Jones, who got a 40-yarder off anyway. Right back 15.
Yeah, that was another one of those dogs, George White, number 25, that appeared to make contact, or maybe it was just some extra theatrical work by the pitcher.
Maybe he got a little acting here. Let's see if he's going for the acting award. Does he get hit?
You got to play the role a little.
Oh, looks like he hit him right in the left foot.
Bulldogs don't get the block. They do get outstanding field position. And Walker is still the tailback. Moments of 6 on first down on what will be the last play of the first quarter. Boy, things didn't start well for the Tigers, who on the second play from scrimmage saw an 82-yard Madkin to Grindle touchdown strike. They come back with 2 scores of their own, and with 90,000 on hand, they lead 14-7. Second quarter in Death Valley. Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, Mike Golick, Michelle DeFoy. 14-7 LSU, but the Bulldogs have a second and short from the 40 to begin the second quarter. And they give in the eye to Walker. Powerfully built, and the speed to bounce it outside, and a nice big pickup guided out by Ryan Clark. Listen up, Michelle DeFoy. Let's send it to Reese Davis.
All right, Michelle and guys, Cal and Washington last year, the Bears blew a 24-10 lead in the fourth quarter. Could it happen again? Marcus Tuiasosopo, Jeremy Stevens. That brought the Huskies to within 2. Got the ball right back. Go to the freshman tailback. I think Neuheisel found himself one to Rich Alexis, and the Huskies are on top by 5 in the fourth.
Oh, bad news for Cal Grad Tafoya. Not over yet, though. She feels it, too. She's low. Reverse, Justin Jenkins. Hits out on the corner and knocked out by Fred Booker. But the Bulldogs did a couple of nice runs, and this one goes 18 yards.
Well, this is one where the offense can maybe pick up the defense a little bit. Mississippi State defense carries this team a lot. The offense now Going to try and find that spark for the team. A couple of nice plays back-to-back.
Yeah, and good play calling by Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, keeping this fast LSU defense a little bit off balance in this drive. Good mixture, misdirection, power, throwing.
Motion from Brindle from the 13 on the delay give Walker, and he keeps the pile moving, doesn't he? Down to the 9, hit there by Lionel Thomas, the strong safety. Into the first quarter, the first thing we'll point out, for Mississippi State defense that leads the nation, giving up 24 rush yards per game, 43 already for LSU.
And another thing, LSU defensively has only given up now, this is their 8th game, 20 points in the first quarter.
Second and 6.
All the games they played, that comes out to not much. I'll get you a calculator, Michael.
Movement before the snap.
Oh, man, unforgivable. Unforgivable for an offensive player to make a mistake like that. How good does that make you feel, Mike, when you're a D lineman?
Makes me feel great because I got to go 5 yards longer.
5 more yards for that offense to move.
Movement on the offensive line.
Yeah,
5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
That's Kenrick Fairchild, 6'4", 318-pounder. You're going to see him when he moves. He's not going to pull one on you.
Madkin does a good job with the snap count, tricking the defense. Every now and then you trick your own guys, and it really, really makes a difference down here.
It's a shame when an offensive lineman gets his face on TV for that.
As opposed to being ground into the turf by a defensive lineman. Second and 11. Madkin play action with time to throw into the end zone and incomplete, intended for Larry Huntington.
In the red zone this year, Mississippi State's only scored half the time. Touchdowns, that is. 9 of 18. They scored 15 times, but 6 of them were field goals. Now, this play right here will be their last chance for a touch. This has not been a real effective part of their offense. On the flip side, LSU has held people out. They've given up scores 14 of 22 times, 11 touchdowns. That's a pretty good average down here inside the 20 for this defense.
Unlike the Tigers, Bulldogs 0 for their third down to this point. Now they get to the 4 at least. Walker around Booker, stays on his feet and has a touchdown. 14 yards for Dante Walker. Mississippi State right back.
It's a nice call by Madkin. I think he got out of that one. I think he wanted to throw to the left. He had 2 receivers to the left. He saw coverage up. He saw the safety over to that side. It looked like he called it off at the end and went to the play up the middle, going back to the weak side, and it was wide open.
Well, Walker's something to look at. 5'10", 225. You wouldn't think that body could move as well as he does. The great agility along the sideline gets him that touchdown. As Westerfield adds the extra point, we're 14-14. Top recruit in the South when he came out from Clinton, Mississippi. A parade All-America, breaking tackles to tie it at Tiger Stadium. Dante Walker let him know how he got this game back to even, 14-14 after his touchdown run early second quarter. Dominic Davis. Devery Henderson back deep waiting for this kick. Westerfield booms it a yard deep. Davis brings it out. To the 26-yard line.
Well, good job by Madkin calling out. This is what he sees. He sees up, safety over, and the 2 deep. So he says, all right, I'm going to call it off. We'll just come right back that way for it. He sees everybody over there. You watch him changing the play, saying, I don't like what I see. Let's go the other way. Not a lot of people on the other side of the field. Good job getting out of it.
One of the few over there, Fred Booker, outmanned and trying to jersey tackle Dante Walker, had no chance. So back from a tie, Booty incomplete through the hands of Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio is the backup tight end. That's spelled that way. Pronounced that way. Junior out of Crowley.
You know, you guys saw Madkin in the bowl game last year. Imagine that. He looks bigger and stronger. Certainly seems to be performing a little better as well.
Well, he ended up being the MVP in that game, but it was not a good offensive performance for either Clemson or Mississippi State. He's definitely more poised this year.
Until off the field in conversation with him. Now fell on the field, too. A lot of growth.
Boy, that was just a complete setup play. Josh Booty had the hard count, and the center's taught as soon as somebody crosses the line, snap it.
Called the snap. Contact by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
You can see when they do it. As soon as they crossed, he snapped it. Josh Booty knelt down just so the play would start and they would get the 5 yards. Pretty smart play.
You also saw the entire offensive line staying in their stance, not ever moving. So it's very clear. Look, nobody budged. So the official can't even wonder who's guilty.
Larry O'Hagan was the guilty Bulldog. So 2nd and 5, and now Booty with a call change. And the toss sweep, Dominic Davis.
Dominic Davis carries.
Maybe 2. On ESPN and ESPN2 next Saturday. All starts at 11 with College Game Day presented by the Discover Card, and then Illinois and Michigan State at noon Eastern. And at 7 Eastern from the ACC, number 6 Florida State takes on 25th ranked NC State. ESPN2 at noon as Northwestern and Minnesota, Penn State and Indiana. Our game from the RCA Dome at 7 Eastern. That's next week on ESPN2. 3rd and 2, same play. Davis will have the first down. Wendell Robertson with the tackle, but Davis, a Dante Walker-like 5'10", and 206, has the first. Now we go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, Nick Saban told us that after LSU beat Tennessee, they were elated, and maybe too much so, because the following week of practice, the players were distracted. Then they went and got embarrassed by Florida. But things were different after last week's win over Kentucky, and I'll finish that after the play.
You would think so, with the job they did against the Kentucky passing game, holding a score that's almost unthinkable. Booty deep for Robinson, picked off. Fred Smoot as his 3rd of the year. Still on his feet, too. And a stiff arm to get Reed out of the way, and then finally Davis brings him down. A return that will go into the books as 7 yards, probably covered close to 70.
Yeah, the most surprising thing about the game thus far has been the excellence of the pass protection by the LSU offensive line. This time, they did not get it done. Smoot gets some help from his buddies up front. The quarterback is hit. The throw is short. He makes a nice catch, and then he runs 327 yards, all for naught.
Well, one thing that happens when you do a rollout, which is something LSU's done a little bit, you're taking away half the field. So Smoot saw it's a rollout. He can only come this way, and there was only one receiver going deep, so he started hightailing it toward him, put himself in good position.
Yeah, but Booty was hit, and that's the reason the throw was so poor.
Bulldogs right back. Again, great field position. They start from their 45, and Madkin's throw on the roll is incomplete. And back we go to Michelle.
Well, Dave, I was just about to say that they responded differently, LSU did, after the shutout of Kentucky. The team had its most complete week of practice, and Saban said that he hopes that meant his team's learning how to handle success better. Maybe just not on that interception.
They ruined her deal down there, didn't they? Throwing the interception.
It has been way too common in Josh Booty's career. The 30th pick of his years here at LSU, and on a percentage basis, no active quarterback has thrown more interceptions in all Division I-A. Madkin feels the heat, steps up, salvages a gain of a couple. Grady James and Ty Barnes for Allen.
Yeah, we mentioned Ty Barnes being undersized, but his quickness was a real factor on that play there, because Madkin has so much explosion and so much power now. He might have popped through there. Here he comes. There he is. That's Ty. They're locking him up a little bit. Can't see him right there, but he comes off and assists on the tackle. Nice job by Ty Barnes getting away from a holding offensive lineman.
That's too often from State. 5 wides. Madkin throws incomplete. Intended for Justin Griffith.
Justin saw Trev Falk. He said, I don't think I want that football.
He just stopped. I don't like that play anyway. I don't like a 3rd and 8.
Somebody else.
I just don't like a 3rd and 8. I don't like a 3-yard route where they're going to try and get it after. But you're right. Falk was standing right in his way.
Couldn't you read his mind? Oh, no. I'm not catching that thing.
Important stop by LSU. Of course, a 3 and a punt by Cole after the interception. Davis. And a little shake on the return. Nice job. 27. And a flag at the end of an 11-yard return. Ended by Nathan Jackson's tackle.
Well, that was a nice return. I thought he was going to get hit right away. A little juke in there.
If that guy averages 14.7 yards per return, he's 5th in the SEC in all-purpose yardage per game, 126 yards.
Blocking the back against the receiving team. 10 yards from the start of the foul.
10:40 to go first half at Tiger Stadium. Dead even, 14-14. For Jackie Sherrill and for Nick Saban. First place in the SEC West on the line tonight. 14-14 our score with 10:40 in the first half. Josh Booty, after the great start, 8 of 10 through the year, now has missed his last 4 completions. LeBrandon Tofield is back in at tailback.
And I guarantee it was brought up that Alabama lost in the LSU locker room, knowing that whenever you can control your own destiny, and Dave, you said it at the top, if they can win out, they'll win the SEC West. When you can control your own destiny, that takes on a whole different atmosphere than if you have to look at the scoreboard and hope somebody else loses.
Nick Saban took Michigan State to the top 10 last year. 9-2, ending in a Citrus Bowl victory after he had accepted the job in Baton Rouge. Short toss short of the first down by Josh Reed, and we check in again on the Pac-10 with Reese Davis.
All right, Dave, Oregon State and UCLA. Beavers up 37-31, just over 2 minutes to go, and the other running back, Patrick McCall, would bust it. You think this sticks a fork in the Bruins? Not quite. It made it 44-31. The Bruins scored a touchdown, recovered the onside kick. They have it, and they're moving.
Man.
West Coast football.
Another year in the Pac-10. Really 3rd and 1, incomplete. And he was pressured by Rob Knight on the blitz. Throw never had a chance.
When Rob Knight comes in the game, he is coming hard. He comes off the corner.
That's Mississippi
Another
State
one of those
defense.
dog-type athletes, strong safety-type athletes. They love to rush the passer with him.
So 6 straight incompletions for Booty. Remember, they nearly blocked that kick last time for Jones. No problem this time, and a rather short effort is fair caught by Huntington. 40 yards on the boot. 14-14 game in Death Valley. Always a wild scene. Tiger Stadium on a Saturday night.
Always looks like Halloween to me.
Whether it is or not, it almost is. Bulldogs from their 33. Madkin is the good to Jacinto Miller. He continues to split time at tailback with Dante Walker. Robert Davis making the tackle. Well, who will win the Heisman Trophy? The question, again, put out on the ESPN.com poll this week. And Michael Vick, Drew Brees, Woodrow Dantzler, all on display all day on ESPN and ESPN2. So the balloting to this point Mike Golick.
Still not sold. Still not sold on it, gentlemen.
He said last week, Mike, not in your personal top 3, and with his struggles tonight at Syracuse not helping his cause with you, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Resounding winner in our update so far today. Matt Kitten is intercepted by Fred Booker, who had one-on-one coverage with Larry Huntington, but the ball underthrown, and Booker, the only senior in the 2 deep for LSU, comes up with the pick.
This is the classic, like when you're talking to a pitcher, throw it, don't aim it. He tried to aim this one in there, just throw it. You got your guy out there, throw it up and let him get under it. He tried to aim it, great coverage, underthrown ball, easy interception.
Seniors, a very thin commodity on this LSU roster, particularly on the defense. Booker comes up with a big one there. 8:54 in the half. Booty and company back to work. He did have one short completion in the last 6 passes. And this drive starts with a toss sweep. It was Devery Henderson, true freshman. Well, let's update Michael Vick's night. Reese Davis, the latest.
Well, Dave, I think Golick's going to have some ammunition after this. Michael Vick had minus 46 yards rushing before this play. It's a 1-point game late. Syracuse down by 1, and Vick busts one. 55 yards, he takes it to the house, but he hit just 6 of 11 passes, rushed for just 9 yards, and most importantly, Hokies win.
Numbers are ugly, except on the scoreboard. Again, they toss to Henderson. In the clear. Run down by Smoot inside the 40-yard line. 27 yards for the freshman with a flag down.
Okay, so there's a flag, but our question was, can LSU's offensive line meet the surge of the defensive front of Mississippi State? And the answer is a resounding yes up to this point. The penalty hurts, but the guys in the white shirts believe they can block these guys.
Their confidence is growing every single play.
Yes.
They are not afraid at all of just taking it right up the gut or to the outside. They thought they'd have more luck right up the gut. That one went outside.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains 2nd down.
But I'll tell you, Mike, a toss sweep is really a power running play. It's not really trying to get, it's not like an option running for the sideline. It's a cutback play. And just as surely as Mississippi State has hurt LSU on cutbacks, that was a cutback and an explosion. But the blocking at the point of attack was superb.
The Big Uglies are doing a number up front for LSU.
Nice job by Brendan Whining, number 68. Moved back over to his old spot of right tackle for this game.
Right out in the good game by Henderson, the state's 100 and 200 meters champion. He showed some speed. That throw, a long out and a strike to Josh Reed and Booty, throwing it like he did the first quarter, 14 yards, as Reed makes the catch against the coverage of Eugene Clinton.
That was an impressive throw because he's rolling left, throwing across his body. He had 3 receivers coming. 1 short, 1 middle, 1 long. He had his choice, wanted to go long with it, and throw with a twist in his body. A nice, accurate throw in that position.
I'll tell you what it's like. I'm going to keep saying it's like a good third baseman moving to his left and having to make a snap throw. This guy has really got a gun.
And Reed, the target on both those completions on his last 7 tries. There's another toss for Henderson. And they close this time quite a bit quicker. Mario Hagan gets there.
Yeah, and as fast as Henderson is, if he tries to stretch it out, Mike, like you were just saying, he's going to get run down by this defense. Mario Hagan, Connor Stevens, those linebackers, all those dogs we're talking about, Pig Crate, they can fly. But look here, it's 2nd and 4.
I mean, they're exactly in the position they talked about being in. Don't get caught. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, be in the positive positions. Here, you have great options to run and throw.
Henderson gave Tofield a nice breather. He showed himself to be a threat, too, but LeBrandon Tofield back, dotting the I. They keep the toss going. And he loses his footing right as Hagan greets into the 45, where it'll be 3rd and 2.
So, when the other Heisman candidates start to have a good game, you guys going to apologize to me at all?
Doubt it. Don't wait all year.
Michael Vick, obviously a great player, but I still can make some cases for some other ones, and he had a great run there for him, without a doubt. But I'll just keep saying, but.
I'm going with an 11-0 TCU. If they go 11-0, a 2,000-yard season for the Danian Tomlin.
I agree.
How can you go against it?
I agree.
They're having no troubles with Tulsa today. 3rd and 2. The tight end Robert Royal in motion. Until field will stop short by about 1.5 yards. A strong forward surge by Hagan, who's been on every stop on this LSU possession, helped out by Rob Knight. Oh, that's not a signal, I don't think, by Joe Lee Dunn. You have to might be.
Now they need to punt this football, play field position. Don't give these big monster guys the ball out in the middle of the field.
I agree with you again. Will you stop saying the things I'm agreeing with, Bill?
Well, we can get back to the Vic thing. All right. How's his team doing? Best player on the best team. What did he do to pull the game out when he didn't have a great performance?
I don't know. I missed it.
Yeah.
Under 5 minutes, Donnie Jones with a very short kick that takes a big LSU roll, and Chris Draper watches it roll dead at the 13-yard line. 31 yards, but he backs up the Bulldogs near their own end with 4:49 and a half. If a picture ever said 1,000 words, that one did. There's your Tiger Stadium home field advantage. Bulldogs from their 13. In the eye. Throw to sweep for DeCenzo Miller. And Miller is close and will have a first down. Struggling to get him out of bounds. Robert Davis for a gain of 11.
Mixing there the option. How about that?
Yeah, Madkin can run the option.
Sure.
That's part of their offense. And they're one of the few teams, and you and I have talked about this a lot, Mike. Usually people who run the option a little get in trouble with it. These guys can run it, and they pull it out every now and then. That was a big play getting off the goal line.
All the way out to the 24. A little more comfortable from there. They stay in the eye. And again, call on the tailback. So that's a nice 6-7 yard surge on first down. ESPN2's college football scoreboard will follow us and catch all the scores, highlights, and big stories from the day in college football with Reese Davis and Rod Gilmore. You're on ESPN2 coming up next. ESPN.com is your home for college football on the internet. Number 14, 4-1, Mississippi State. There's a good case that they should be a top 10 program this year. Looking for first place by themselves in the SEC West if they get a win. And they keep pounding Miller straight up the gut. That's 11 more yards and another first down. And let's check with Reese on what he has in store at halftime.
All right, Dave, coming up at the break, we'll also look at the SEC East. Jim Donnan just hoping to survive, and he did a little bit better than that at Kentucky with a backup quarterback. Alabama's day at Tennessee and how it opened the door for State. And we'll also check on Michael Vick, and you guys can argue about it at halftime.
No doubt we will. There's no argument. Tennessee's win over Alabama, throwing the West into a real scramble now. Madkin going deep for Grindle, not this time as Davis, rather than the true freshman Aaron DeMond, who started the game at corner, had the coverage. Second play from scrimmage tonight. Grindle caught an 82-yarder against DeMond and made it quickly 7-0 Mississippi State.
Well, I'll take that play. You smash mouth. You're gaining yards up the middle, and you try and take one over the top. You got some confidence in your running game. Probably come back with a run here and try and get himself 5, 6, or 7.
Can 0 for his last 6 now, so his accuracy's dropped off significantly.
Quarterback, little dry spell here in the second quarter. Play action. And a catch by Kenny Williamson, this time at a hard spill on the far side by Lionel Thomas, noted for his big hits.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of hitting going on tonight. This is a very good football game. I got the sense that LSU players were confident and ready to take these guys on. People around here have been nervous as to whether they could stand up. And we mentioned Ty Barnes. He's getting knocked around a little bit in the middle, but he's also making his share of plays. Backed up by the outstanding sophomore middle linebacker, Trev Falk.
Not that impressive for Madkin, except for that 82-yarder. Miller with the toss and lots of room. And maybe if he doesn't run into his own blocker, Kenrick Fairchild, he gets more than 16 yards. That gives Jeremy Lawrence a chance to make the tackle. Could have been a lot more.
Kenny Williamson, who just caught the pass before this, used a lot of times and mainly as a blocker, just had one reception coming in. Watch 32, just coming out. That's the way you hit knock somebody out of the hole. You move them out of the hole, you send them airborne a little bit. That's a check plus there in meetings.
Kenny Williamson came in with only one carry and one catch on the year. You just saw what is mostly in his job description. Justin Griffith with the carry, and he's down to the 32. Clock rolling to 2:45. Both teams have all three of their timeouts. Look at Jackie Sherrill in 10 years, and they remain really going against the grain in the SEC, which has followed the lead of Steve Spurrier in the last 10 years. But they remain all about the smash mouth element on the offense.
Yep, old style. Come off the ball and knock them in the dirt.
You say, I get accused of being old school. I'm really just old. Looks around, there's not many that have been in the profession as long. Dante Walker in, and he takes a huge spill under Ryan Clark, the junior safety.
Now, let me tell you the next sequence in this offensive thinking from Sparky Wood. When Ryan Clark fills, as he does here, and makes such a nice play, watch out for the play-action pass off the option, because that free safety leaves the middle of the field to fill the alley, and that skinny post goes right in behind him for a touchdown.
That was a $185 on 225 right there. That's the way to come up and stick somebody.
Ryan loves to play. He's the leader of this defense. He lines everybody. Look at him. Look at him. Communicating, getting people lined up.
Tim Madkin, and he breaks through to the 25. This is going to be close, but I think where they will mark him, he'll have the first down. He did the 26, and he is 25 and a half. They may not even need to measure this one.
Both coordinators and the head coach, Jackie Sherrill at Mississippi State, have talked about how pleased they are at the way their team practices. You can't run a little option without practicing it extremely well and execute it this well. Madkin knows exactly what he's doing. He knows when to pitch it, when to turn it up. It's gotten them a first down here. Madkin understands as he comes down the line, he's fixed on the outside man. When he sees the hole open up, he knows there's just a little corner in there, and he can knock him back and make that first. And that's his job on 3rd and short.
Jackie knew they didn't need the sticks.
Made it by a whole 3 inches.
Well, near the 1 minute mark, timeouts will start to come into play now for State. Madkin somehow steps up, finds Miller, and Clark likewise finds Miller.
Now, I've watched Miller play a lot of football this year against BYU and people like that. I don't think I've seen one guy bring him down in the open field a single time until then.
They're huddling. They're not calling timeout, and the clock is inside 40 seconds.
Boy, looks like they're just going to position themselves for a field goal. This is surprising here. Madkin looking for a place to run. And a nice little dump off there at the end, but his receivers were covered. The corners for LSU are playing very tough, getting great jam coverage and taking them down the field.
And they finally call timeout. It cost them a good 8-10 seconds. Let's go down in the shelter for you.
Well, Dave, time for a little ESPN2 trivia question. What former NFL center who played for the Green Bay Packers and Baltimore Colts is celebrating a birthday today? Now, these photos should supply some clues. Quite a strapping young fellow. Mike Golick, Dave Barnett, any answers?
Oh, it's Bill Curry.
Look at you!
And what a
Look at that
specimen he
look.
was.
Wow!
How in the world?
Oh, look at that hairdo there. Are you kidding me?
That was a few pounds ago, fellas.
I told you I was big at one point, Michael. I told you there was a time when I could have at least stood my ground for a 2.8 seconds against the
that
guy.
is beautiful. Well, happy birthday.
Thank
You're 8 years old. Okay, I won't get it.
29th,
No, 50.
29th anniversary of your 29th?
It's the
No.
29th
And here it comes. Right here, we got it.
Birthday. And you were
There's
right,
the birthday cake.
The fire marshal wouldn't let us put all the candles on.
Now, normally, if this is for TV, we'd like smash it in your face and make it. But you know what?
No,
We're eating it.
What do you think now? This is so hard. I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to.
We'll all regret it.
We're going to eat that thing, let me tell you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And there's no place I'd rather be. It is a celebration.
Happy birthday. That's good. I got a little preview. 2nd and 7, swing pass. And there are some collisions down there. Griffith.
How do you not get out of bounds?
That caused them to call their second timeout.
What we're seeing here is some poor clock management. You don't get out of bounds. You don't use your timeouts well. You let time run off. Coach Sherrill will not be happy with this, with his offensive staff, or Wayne Madkin, I assure you.
All right, well, we have more than just still shots of Mr. Curry. We got you in action, Bill. Let's check you out in action. Wow, they had color back then?
Oh, that's Tom Goo. Oh, that's.
Look at you. Look at him going out and cutting at Nitschke. What are you trying to do? Look at you just trying to bite the ankles there. Look at that's a block on Dick Butkus right there. That's a great job out of you.
Yeah, you found the one time I blocked Butkus in 10
Yeah,
years.
you have face masks. Wow, that's impressive. And I hate to say down to Michelle, Michelle, I don't think you're going to get any cake. I think it's going to be gone by the time we get.
Butkus sees that, he'll come look me up.
Bill, that was impressive blocking on your part.
Well, he didn't see me coming.
I'm just amazed it was
Where
color
in the
film.
world, how on earth could you possibly have located it?
Oh, let me tell you, we dug deep, my friend.
We now know just how deep the archives are.
The archives are deep, deep.
Matter of fact, one of those films was like under a table that was wobbly to keep it.
Halftime next. Reese Davis and Rod Gilmore. Updating everything around college football, in particular the SEC. And the SEC West picture.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, they have not done a good job with this clock.
No, they have not.
On the 19th, 3rd and 2, one timeout left, 23 seconds left in the first half of a tie game. First place in the division on the line tonight. They are coming after Madkin. He lets it go for the end zone, and it is almost a one-hander by Grindle, who comes up one shoe light. Booker with the coverage on Terrell Grindle, 17 seconds.
Yeah, Booker with the coverage, and I think he got away with one there. I think he had a little piece of jersey because he was falling and got a piece of him. Could have easily been called for pass interference.
All right, offensive guy, we'll see. Nah, that was just good fighting for the ball right there. You wouldn't call that one, would you?
I think that would have been very questionable.
Westerfield for a 36-yarder for a halftime lead. And he will be good. He has hit 12 of his last 13. That's going back to last year. This season, 8 out of 9. Nick Saban had a 14-7 lead not that long ago, and not real pleased about going in at the half trailer. Coming up Thursday, ESPN College Football comes from Provo. 7:30 Eastern, Wyoming, tackling BYU. Our coverage will begin with college football tonight, presented by Gateway. And then Jay Stoner, the quarterback, leads the Cowboys into this Mountain West matchup with the Cougars. Thursday night football out west.
Is Lavelle Edwards getting like presents everywhere he goes on the away trips as last year?
But he didn't get a present at Syracuse. I guarantee you that. That was.
Jackie Sherrill, a long way away from that retirement, I think. He is got it going on here at Mississippi State.
I think he's enjoying it. keeps being mentioned for the Alabama job because he played there and played for Coach Bryant, but he says he's staying at Mississippi State.
With good reason, they're glad to hear that, because look at the difference between and before Jackie Sherrill. 105 previous games, 41 wins, 19 in the SEC, and twice that many since the Sherrill era began 10 years ago. The longest day he's had at any of his previous head coaching positions. On the short kick, Tommy Banks, the fullback, with the return. And incidentally, Sherrill is 2 wins away from becoming the winningest head coach in the history of Mississippi State.
I don't think I'll have any problem getting that.
It's not a real long list of guys that are up in his category. Alvin McKean is the career leader, 65 wins. The previous 6 coaches before Sherrill all left Mississippi State below 500 for their careers. That goes all the way back to the Darrell Royal era. Everybody remember DKR at Mississippi State?
Bill does.
54 and 55. He went 12 and 8.
I do. I remember it well.
Sorry, Bill.
That was not a leather headgear either. I hope you noticed that.
Bring on the cake.
Yeah.
End of the half, 17-14. Mississippi State in a seesaw first half at Death Valley. They have a 3-point lead as we send it back to Reese Davis in the studio. Tiger Stadium, long a landmark in college football, and 10,000 seats bigger since last year. The addition of the East Side Upper Deck, 91,000 on hand tonight. And a good one for ESPN2 primetime college football, with first place on the line in the SEC West. 17-14 Mississippi State, ranked 14th. Losers only to South Carolina, but in a real battle as we begin the second half. LSU, which won the toss, deferred to the second half, and they will drop Dominic Davis back deep, along with Devery Henderson for this second half kickoff from John Michael Marlin. Return by Henderson. Out to the 28. And again with the birthday boy, Phil Curry, Mike Golick. Cake, excellent, by the way. 17-14 in Mississippi State. All about balance, and we've seen, again, great balance offensively.
Yeah, from both teams. Mississippi State, 18 runs, 15 passes. LSU, 20 runs, 17 passes. Both teams doing what they want to do, and the score reflects that.
Yeah, Jackie Sherrill has a very interesting conflict here. He's 59-2 when ahead at the half, but he's 2-10 against LSU on career, so something's got to give in his record tonight.
Josh Booty, who started the game hot, starts the second half with a hitch to Josh Reed. It didn't seem like Mississippi State rolled up as many yards as they did in that first half. 250 total, but remember about a third of that in the second play from scrimmage. 82 yards, Madkin to Grindle. 71 rushing yards for LSU, the most Mississippi State has given up in the game all year, 87, and that was in their opener to Memphis. So a real good chance the Tigers will have better success than anybody has had on the ground against the best run defense in the country. Will it be enough? Cofield can't find the handle. Picked up. Rob Knight with the recovery and the return for Mississippi State to the 21-yard line. And the second half begins with a lightning bolt, much like the first half.
We had seen 2 turnovers, an interception by each team in the first half, no real damage. This one certainly could come back to haunt LSU.
Yeah, and Mike, we've talked so much about the pressure of the Mississippi State defense. This is what you'd call an unforced error if it were a tennis match. This is just poor exchange between the quarterback and the tailback, and you will absolutely self-destruct against this defense if you give them stuff like that deep in your territory. The heat's right on the LSU defense to keep them in this football game right here.
Madkin in the offense, in the eye. Madkin off the audible. With the give for no gain to Senzo Miller, stuffed by the strong side linebacker Jeremy Lawrence.
And that's something that has to change this second half for LSU. Coming to the end of the first half, Mississippi State really started running the ball well. Miller and Walker both had over 6-yard average for the game so far. LSU has got to stop this smash mouth football that Mississippi State was doing in the second quarter.
No matter who they put in, Miller, Walker, Griffith, they all gassed the Tiger D. Madkin steps up, keeps to the 15, 10, and out with a first and goal at the 6. A 14-yard scamper for Wayne Madkin.
Well, that's the kind of thing he did to finish up the year last year in the Peach Bowl, but he did it with a really frail body. When he goes out there now, he just looks different. He's so confident, so strong. He runs away from people. His speed has actually increased. I asked him, "Do you run faster than you did when you were a skinny guy?" He said, "I really think I do." This is so smart right here.
From the 6, first and goal. With Whitehouse left, still in the eye. Give to the fullback, Kenny Williamson, and he is swarmed at the line of scrimmage. And the first hit comes from Muskingum Ty Barnes. And my instincts were correct. Let's go Ty Barnes the rest of the way.
I thought we had decided to just say Ty, and I'll tell you, a very impressive job by him. He weighs about 265, and he's playing the nose tackle. Sometimes he plays that slanted nose, what old Joe Green used to do back in the day for that steel curtains. And at that weight, you've got to have great technique, great hand placement to stand up that center and not get double teamed with the guard hitting you and knock you into the linebackers. And he's doing a nice job.
4 wides now, and one of them, the inside left-hand slide, is to Senzo Miller. Griffith in the backfield. And Madkin rolling. And peeking. And with a leap, helicopters into the end zone. What a touchdown run by Wayne Madkin.
Now, who'd that remind you of, Michael?
That run?
Yeah. Who'd that remind you of?
Woody Dantzler?
He won't say it, I will. That was Michael Vick-like, Bill.
Yep. Wayne has got acceleration and the power now that he can do things like that. And he said another big change in his ability is to stay uninjured while taking those licks.
So the biggest lead of the night, Mississippi State immediately taking advantage of the fumble by LeBrandon Cofield. The extra point by Westerfield makes it 24-14. Bulldogs by 10. Madkin in midair doing it on his own.
Back in Baton Rouge, Mississippi State up by 10, and just moments ago inside the LSU locker room, Nick Saban told his defense, that's as poor a half of defense as you played all season long. You don't have the look in your eye that you need to win this game. Everyone looks tired. You're moping around, and I'm not sure why, but we have a heck of an opportunity to win this game. Let's go out there and win it. You need to tackle better. You need to play tougher. They're physical. They're tough, but we have an opportunity to win. He cannot be happy that they just gave up that touchdown. Dave?
Again, turnovers. They scored on their first 2 possessions. Since then, they've punted 3 times. They turned it over twice and got caught by the end of the first half. His fears being realized at this point. This return by Davis. He angles toward the middle of the field. This is the 23. So a 10-point hole now. They were up 14-7. Madkin leads the Bulldogs back. 17 unanswered points.
Yeah, he gets the credit on the touchdown, but there was definitely some blocking that helped him. 2 plays before that, DeCenzo Miller was down the field blocking for him. This time it was Justin Griffith, number 31. The fullback does a nice job. He's right there. Watch him come down and take out Brady James right there. Takes his legs out. Brady James had an angle, could have got there. Good job getting downfield.
Rudy into traffic. And intended for Gerald Myers. They will give him the catch. To the surprise of Jackie Sherrill.
Jackie is assisting the officials, and they appreciate his input.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And I'm certain they'll consider his objection like they do every coach who objects in such a fashion, just like some of the rest of us occasionally. I don't know that I ever question their judgment.
Oh, stop it, Bill. It's getting sickening. Stop it. It's birthday. It's over. We had cake.
Yeah, you ate most of it.
The hit on Tofield. Delivered by Mr. Hagan again. Mario, the sophomore from Clarksdale, their leading tackler for the year.
Yeah, I figure she figures that she's escaped by now, but Dr. Carolyn Curry is 3 days older than me. She had a birthday on the 18th. Happy birthday, darling Carolyn.
Oh,
3 days before me.
This brownie points now you're trying to score here?
Did you think I was going to let it go without saying happy birthday to her?
Did you get her a cake?
Of course. No, actually I didn't.
Way to sell yourself out on that.
Busted. Rudy, 3rd and 5. Over the middle, Robinson. First down to the 38. Did they ever need that? A gain of 10, where they could not afford the quick 3 and out.
Again, just get the first down. Josh Booty, we talked about in the first half, sometimes trying to do more than he should. This one, just take what they give you. You need 5 yards, get 5 yards. There's the crossing route. There's the open man. Make the play. Let's move the chains and go on from there. He's shown good control tonight.
Came out on fire. He had 8 of his first 10. Now 13 of 20. 128. And 1 touchdown for the year. Hofield picking his way. Not quite even back to the line of scrimmage. And again, Hagan sideline to sideline tonight. His 8th tackle also over there, Willie Blay.
You know, Michelle talked about what Nick Saban said about LSU's defense. I guarantee you, defensive coordinator Joe Lee Dunn had an earful for his defense. They gave up 71 yards rushing in the first half, and they're averaging 24 a game, over triple what they've given up in a half. So you know he was in the ear of his defense as well.
That toss sweep's not going to be a factor much. They've got an answer for it now. Mississippi State is overloaded toward the tight end.
2nd and 12. Booty's a success on the roll all night to get a strike to Reggie Robinson to the 48-yard line. Should be enough for the first down. Nothing new for a Joe Lee Dunn defense to be at or near the top of the national defensive rankings. He's done it on a number of stops. 3rd in the nation with South Carolina in 87. He had the nation's best with Ole Miss in 93, and again last year with Mississippi State.
And players love to play for him. That's what we got out of talking with the players. And it reminded me so much when I played with the Philadelphia Eagles and we had the top defense. We loved playing for our defensive coordinator, Bud Carson. You loved the system. You loved playing for the guy. You just had a ball every time you were on the field. And they have such respect, these Mississippi State defenders, for Joe Lee Dunn.
As they get the chains out, something else that you'll notice, that it is a first down. It goes against everybody, really in the current era of football. Is he's down there on the field. He has no chart in his hands. He has no headset. He talks to no one. He just looks out. He sees what he sees, and he makes his call.
And he has no socks.
You don't see that too often.
That. Never wears socks.
Wearing long pants. Can't see he got no socks.
His breeches are too long, but he doesn't wear socks.
He never wears socks.
But his head is a computer. I've coached against Joe Lee, and I'll tell you, he makes you think all night long in addition to hitting.
From the gun. Play action. Booty firing for Robinson, and he makes the catch out of bounds. That ball thrown just a half-second too late.
Good play call. Just, Dave, you hit it right on the head. Just a half-second too late.
Whatever happens in this game tonight in terms of outcome, Josh Booty has grown up another couple steps. I'm not sure that wasn't a catch. Judgment has to be made whether he had control while that foot was still dragging. But that was a nice throw, and he's done nothing but make nice throws for the most part. That has not been his history. He's really come along in a pressure game.
Again to Robinson, and the big Prather swings him into the Mississippi State sideline, which results in the cry for the late hit. That hit started inbound.
Now, Pig gets a chance to sling him down. He's going to sling him down. That's part of being a defensive player. I said, Pig, you ever think about running the ball? I mean, you used to be a star running back. He said, I like to hit him. And besides, when I get my next interception, then I'll get to run with it.
Well, that's what these guys are known for, is they're hitting. He hit the out of bounds. Sean Birdsong came and hit Josh Booty after he threw the ball, but Pig Prather in this defense, they are going to hit you. But I'll tell you what, they're certainly getting a great test tonight.
Last year, the 1-point win, the game-clinching interception at the final minute. 3rd and 5. Another first down completion to the 32-yard line.
What a nice job of concentration right there. Good gracious. Josh Reed, you can tell he's been in the mix in there in the middle of it, Mike, as a tailback much of his career. Just got moved to wide receiver this year and is making the most of it.
Josh Reed moved from tailback, really at the behest of Booty. He knew the talent that Reed possessed, but he'd like seeing it wasted as a backup running back. So big time receiving weapon out there now. Back to the ground to Tofield. Just me, or is Mario Hagan really making every tackle?
Boy, he's making a bunch, and I stand corrected on that toss sweep because LSU came right back with it against the overshift defense, and Dwayne Pierce, Brandon Winey, Lewis Williams, the center. Nice job just knocking people back in those maroon shirts. And I'm telling you, they're not used to it.
Let's go to the fullback, too. Tommy Banks, all 275 pounds of weight.
People out. Smashing pieces too.
11 tackles for Hagan. That went after a gain of 7. Field. Tough to bring him down. He gets 5 extra yards after the initial contact. And it took Eugene Clinton to bring him down, but another first.
I talked with Mike Haywood, the running back coach, also a teammate of mine in Notre Dame. He said Tofield loves to run down the field. He has low shoulders. He keeps the leg drive going. Look at the legs going and those shoulders down, just driving into those defenders. That is a great job of running the football. He's looking for contact.
That picks up the offensive line. That makes you want to drive your guy another step. The greatest team sport in the world is this one right here.
Right when they had the answer. They've done it. 11th play of the drive. Booty steps up to the end zone and overthrows Reed. The timing off a little bit. The pass was thrown before Reed made his cut. By the time it came down, it was over his head.
Now, Reed ran a cut and Josh threw a corner.
Yeah, but that was a sign of inexperience, probably on the part of both players. Reed hasn't been a receiver very long, and he was not ready to make the adjustment that Josh expected him to make.
Josh Booty tonight passing Burt Jones, the all-time LSU passing list, 6th all-time.
Now, that's hard to believe. Burt Jones was a player.
Josh Booty tonight's been a player. Up against the snap clock. Mississippi State blitzing against the run. Tofield has the 18. Kobe Galladay joins Big Prather.
LSU said Toby Galladay practiced so hard I have to back him off sometimes. Very unusual for JC guys who transfer in to be great practice players. Toby Galladay is one of those.
Again, 3rd and 9. Remember, Nick Saban told us 37 plus is the situations they wanted to stay out of. That's Mississippi State's wheelhouse on defense.
70% tonight on 3rd. A low snap. Time to fire end zone. Batted away by Josh Morgan. Intended for Myers.
One of the better stories in college football this year. One of the better plays right there. Josh Morgan, a former walk-on player who was not recruited. He came and he said, I can prove myself. Josh has done it. Had this ball been thrown a little farther, it might have been a little different, but he had just enough, that 6'1" frame, to get a hand on this football. Protection was superb, as it has been most of the night.
And John Corbello out to try a 36-yarder. No problem. Sophomore out of Lafayette. ends that 17-point run by Mississippi State, and they're within a touch. Jackie Sherrill had hopes to get the early lead, keep it, and turn the Tiger Stadium faithful against their LSU club. That hadn't happened tonight. Major importance for Josh Booty to get some kind of points on that drive. They settled for 3, but at least get back within 7. Huntington deep. With Walker, this will be Huntington at the 16. Special teams hitting going on. Robert Davis delivering that. After a 9-yard return, and tonight's storyline brought to you by MCI WorldCom. Booty 16 of 26 for 159, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Madkin 6 of 15, but one of those was an 82-yard touchdown. 122 yards all told. Rushing 24.4 coming in, 80 to date for the Tigers. I got my calculator out. That's 30.24 inches per carry.
You are a human calculator.
Average, no. Got the calculator out. Less than a yard per. Madkin ready to go deep again. And Justin Jenkins has to come back, but he makes the catch. And down at the 37-yard line, nice adjustment for a redshirt freshman who had made only 3 catches coming into tonight. That's 39 yards.
And for Madkin, that's an absolute never do. Never wait and throw the ball up deep into a 3-deep coverage. And he dodges a major projectile here. Not just a bullet, but a grenade.
Ryan Clark's got to be sick.
Ryan he's got turned around. He got a little disoriented, misplayed the ball. You've got to do what, Mike?
You got to jump and get the ball at the highest point, Coach.
All right. At the highest point, Ryan. That's what you do.
He can be taught. Some of you had your doubts. 4 catches tonight for Justin. 3 for 41 for the year coming in. Now Miller. And he bruises his way for about 4 or 5. Another tackle by Lionel Thomas in the secondary.
You know, those can be those game turners. We saw the unforced error, Bill, as you called it, when LSU fumbled and Mississippi State turned it into a touchdown. There was a chance for them to get the ball right back. Ryan Clark the free safety was in perfect position. He had 2 interceptions on the year, and he's got 7 knockdowns that leads the team. He was right in position, turned at the last minute, and did not jump, and but, you know, as all DBs do, he needs to forget about it and move on.
The Bulldogs throw out of the eye going against the usual pattern tonight, but not here. No need to. The way they're getting it done on the ground. Miller into the secondary once more. Ryan Clark brought him down.
Well, when you have an offensive line averaging 323 pounds, mostly those guys like to go straight ahead. That's what they've been doing in the second quarter, and now continuing right now.
That would be their specialty.
I was off by 2 pounds, 321. That's just a biscuit to these guys.
45 pounds a man. Their advantage over the Tiger front line. And it is a first down at the 26. Ronald Lee in motion, play action. Corner blitz comes, they throw it back to the tight end Lee. And he has some moves and is inside the 20, where Brady James runs him down.
Yeah, Pork Chop got out there, all 346 pounds. He and Kyle Wallace, 75, and they launched somebody out there.
They launched Robert Davis, number 9. Oh, man, we do have an injured player down, but watch the 2 linemen out here. Way to the right of the screen.
It's not funny to Robert.
Right here, watch.
Robert, you need to submarine those big guys right here. Don't let them into your chest.
Oh, that's a train wreck.
So naturally, you got Donald Lee, a tight end out there. He doesn't run behind his blockers. He cuts back into the pursuit, which helped LSU. You just have to hope that Robert just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. He'll be okay. Pork Chop does not practice because he's playing on a stress fracture in his left foot, rather in his left leg, but he sure can motor when he needs to on Saturdays.
Kendrick Allen is the player that's down for LSU. And his teammates, I know, hope he's not hurt because he's a car genie. He fixes cars.
You know some of them are going to need oil changes tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to say, come on, you got to be fine, Kendrick. The car needs some work. He loves fixing cars. Bulldog that.
that Bulldog take lessons from the Georgia Bulldog. We need to get that camera off of him. A little inside humor. We'll explain in a minute.
No, we won't.
Let's just leave that one where it is. Option pitch, Miller. As he fullback Williamson leading the way out front. Another Mississippi State first down on the ground.
Wow, I mean, if it's not the line, then you got the fullbacks. This time, Kenny Williamson, he's 244 pounds. We got another LSU player down.
Davis.
Let's check out Williamson. Look at, he is just going to hunt somebody up and take him out. Cuts back in behind it. Oh, he just drove him down the field. Good job by Miller, cutting back right across from it.
And then Davis ends up on the bottom of the pile. Miller lands on it.
That was Robert Davis who was injured. He's getting hit last time.
Robert's not having a lot of fun.
No.
This series.
From the 12. First and 10. Miller for a yard, maybe 2.
I'm telling you, there's a whole lot of striking going on down there. Our reference to the Bulldog, the Georgia Bulldog, gave us a sort of an unusual pose a few weeks back when we had a live camera on him. That's what I was talking about.
Trev Falk, boy, he's just...
That's the view we want. Now, that's the correct angle.
That's the right end we're looking at right now.
There, that is the correct. That's your best shot, young puppy.
He knows how to play with the camera very well.
That's right.
Mike wondering about equal time now. 2nd and 8. Taking the angle he chooses to give us. Miller once more. Carries. Ryan Clark about the last 3 or 4 yards at the end of a 10-yard touchdown run.
Wow. I can't wait till we show you guys this one again.
Yeah, that's just great movement by the big guys up front. They
absolutely how you just draw it up on the...
Yep, it looked like one of those tractor pulls.
I mean, the Mississippi State offensive philosophy, which is kind of the way the traditional SEC offense has been. Who's toughest? Who can outpower who? Has really worn down LSU. First 13, 14 minutes of the 3rd quarter, and they open it up to 14 points. A power of DeCenzo Miller makes it 31-17. Over in the far right-hand corner of the stadium, the Mississippi State band celebrating a 2-touchdown lead. DeCenzo Miller coming off the 2 best games of his career, 172 against Florida, 136 against Auburn. That made him the SEC Player of the Week. Tommy Banks on the return. And worth another look to see the power at the end of this run by Miller.
And we talk about old-style football. Off comes Kyle Wallace. Michael Fair, number 52, left guard and center, knocking him back. Pork Chop Womack, the left tackle, knocks his back. And here comes the fullback.
Yeah, Kenny Williamson again leading on Trev Falk. Falk takes it out of the wrong arm. Williamson says, thank you very much. I'll just hook you and let my man go right by.
Ryan Clark did everything he could. He just gave up too many pounds.
He's real lonely back there.
Booty rolling, and the catch is made by Robinson. They take advantage of his 6'2" size and his 39-inch vertical leap. And his position on Craven.
Coach Sherrill is really enjoying consulting with the officiating crew. Now, I'm not making fun of Jackie Sherrill. It just gets real frustrating on your sideline when you can't make them call the thing the way you want to every time.
They've seen time and time again. Robinson able to make his foot come down inbounds, and he did there for a gain of 3. Dominic Davis taking his turn at tailback. Sophomore from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, brought down by Galladay and Hagan.
I think Jimbo Fisher has done a nice job of play calling tonight, but to come out and run it twice in a row the way things are going in this game right now, some of those little dinks and screens and swing passes might be a better idea at this point.
And they're 3rd and 5. They brought in the throwing package.
They don't want 3rd and 5.
No, they don't. You're right.
4 wides for Booty. He knows they're coming, but who and from which direction? Over the middle, Reed makes the catch at the 48 of the Bulldogs, and another tackle by Hagan, but another first down on a 3rd down conversion for LSU.
That's a good job by Booty. Brian Birdsong, the cornerback, stepped up, and he was the blitzer. Booty knew it was going to that side, so he knew he'd have a hole right around linebacker depth, and that's what he looked for. Again, another good job of not trying to do too much. Get the first down, move the stick, get a drive going, get us down the field.
They answered the last Mississippi State score, the drive for 3.
Those threes aren't going to help now.
They're all the 3s they can stand, down to 14 now. Maybe the last play of the 3rd. Booty, another out, and he has thrown that pass perfectly all night. 19 more yards to Josh Reed.
Defenses are structured so that you force the quarterback to make the long throw to the sideline. The theory being that you can't consistently complete that difficult pass. Josh Booty is doing it tonight. I'm telling you, young Josh has grown up a lot right here before our eyes. Good news for LSU.
He was defying that theory. And we're done with the 3rd quarter. 31-17 for number 14, Mississippi State, which has jumped on the shoulders of Wayne Madkin on the ground, and Miller to lead it through 3. Last year in Starkville, Mississippi State survived 17-16. That ended a 7-game winning streak for LSU in this series. And as we start the 4th quarter, the Bulldogs have in mind starting a streak the other direction. But the Tigers threatening. And Booty going for Reed and just overthrows him in the back corner of the end zone. And we check in down below with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, Josh Booty may be playing in this game, but it was the other quarterback, Rohan Davey, the listed starter for LSU, who was the most vocal person in the LSU locker room at halftime. He never stopped challenging his teammates. He repeated the statement, "Got to have it," no fewer than 50 times. And he told the team, this second half is ours. Let's be flawless. Guys, maybe he should have talked to the defense, too.
Yeah, I think quite carried over the way he would have hoped. Davey, who finally got the knee brace off in practice this season. Reed on the other side, and out of bounds 2 yards shy of the first down marker. At the 20, in front of Sean Birdsong.
And when we talk about natural instinct of a wide receiver, Reed pops his head around when he catches that football and explodes up the field. That's how a running back works. But he also catches the ball before he does that. He doesn't turn his head prior to the ball getting there. He secures it, zips his head around, and up the field. This is an excellent place for a play action. Fake it into the line, get the quick score here, if you possibly can.
The leading receiver in the SEC and 9th in the country. 99 yards per game coming in. 9 for 93 so far this evening. They run on 3rd and 1. And that should be the first down for Dominic Davis, who refuses to go down. Finally at the 16. Through 3 quarters against the #1 run defense in the country. 82 on the ground. That's pretty easily the most by any team against Mississippi State all year. But they're outgained 347-72.
Hey, Michael, how about that right there?
Boy, that's something.
26 minutes of possession, but you got to get points.
Got to turn it into
Field
something.
goals aren't going to help.
Points, specifically 7. And they're real handy on this drive. Davis, he's goal. And a move in the secondary inside of the 5. First and goal. 13 yards.
This is what LSU said they wanted to do. Run up the middle. Mississippi State loves to bring the pressure from those dogs on the outside. They're going to bring them off from the outside. Look at them coming in on the outside. This is where they're bringing them in. So they say, we'll take it right up the gut. They said, we feel that's where they're going to be soft. Get through that first line of defense, and you're into DB space.
Power look here. 3 tight ends. Power eye from the 3. Davis again. Kept the legs going all the way to the end zone.
They got a ball game.
LSU's offensive line has been the surprise of this game. They have protected the passer, and when they've needed a drive, they have knocked these big guys back. They have met the surge and the challenge of the physicality of Mississippi State's defense. And, Mike, you got to be impressed with that drive.
That's a huge answer right there.
Davis showing the same kind of determination by DeCenzo Miller on his last touchdown. The extra point by Corbello. 7-point game. We've got a game indeed. And worth celebrating for Dominic. Dominic Davis gets LSU a touchdown they had to have to begin the fourth quarter. 91,000 behind him. Stadium that is known for the home field advantage, and yet through the decade of the 90s, it didn't pan out statistically against the SEC. In the decade, they were just 16 and 23 here in Baton Rouge. Job one for Nick Saban. Walker, not much on the return against a fired-up Tiger special team.
Oh, momentum can be a beautiful thing, Dave. It can be a beautiful thing. Ryan O'Neal on a tackle. He's made the last 2 tackles on kickoffs, and that will fire a team up when you get one of them guys hustling down there, popping somebody.
Yeah, and if you want to know how to play football on the goal line, you find out from Davis right here. Good job up front by Royal, 86, knocking Knight back, but that was mostly running. Mr. Davis driving the defender into the back of the end zone.
Reed got him down there. Davis finished the job, and the Dogs are back up to the 12, and it is the noisiest it's been all night. Walker in at tailback. Brady James leaping after the stop.
And, Coach, I know you're big on field position, and this is the drive right here that could make or break both teams. If LSU can get a 3 and out, they almost certainly are going to have the ball close to midfield.
Yeah, and now the field goal would be a factor. Normally, if you can get somebody stopped in this part of the field, about 70% of the time, you end up scoring at least a field goal in the situation.
Just gets it off. Walker. Just to the 15. And the Tiger defense is leaping and hopping after every play. Let's go down to Michelle Tafoya.
Hey, Dave, LSU's defense knows it needs to do its part to keep this a ball game. Fred Booker, who was so fired up after LSU's last score that he got in front of teammates far bigger than he, defensive lineman Ty Barnes and Howard Green, shoved them into the bench saying, let's do this. We're in this. We have to stop them now, Fred.
They need that out of him. One of only 2 seniors on defense. Incomplete for Griffith.
They came with the pressure that time. Wanted to force making the throw maybe sooner than he wants to. Lionel Thomas is the man that came.
No accounting for the strong safety blitz in the system of Mississippi State, and it cost them the time to get that ball thrown properly. Good job by Thomas.
I'd set up a return here if I were LSU. Try and get all the field position you can.
Good call by El Mason, the defensive coordinator.
Dennis Cole's been booming them all night. Here's another nice one. Davis fresh off his touchdown. Almost to midfield. A 43-yarder. Brought back 7. And And a fired-up Tiger group. The defense does its job. Now back over to Booty in the offense with 12:05 left.
4th down, 10 yards to go. 1:47 to go in the game. LSU wins or loses on this play, it would appear.
And Mike Patrick remembers it about 12 years ago to the day. 79,341 here at Tiger Stadium. Registered vibrations on the seismograph located in the LSU Geology Department at 9:32 p.m. the exact time Eddie Fuller scored that touchdown.
Feeling an earthquake right now, too. Davis in a foot race with Trey Ford inside the 25.
90,500 in the newly enlarged Tiger Stadium. Loving that 27-yard Dominic Davis sprint.
Mississippi State 4-1. We've talked about their rush defense. They've never given up over 100 yards by a team this year until tonight, gentlemen.
The 24-yard deal went down the tubes a while back, didn't it?
Davis in motion, split out wide. Booty intended for Dominic Davis, but it completed to 21. So Nick Saban takes over after taking Michigan State to the top 10 for sellout after sellout in East Lansing. And he knows that the crowds are going to be there, but through the 80s and 90s, the team didn't do its part with the results. Still strong through the 70s. Below 500 in the entire decade against the SEC in the 90s. He tried to point out to the people here once he took the job, look, you know, you think of this as still a top-notch program. Remember, in the last 30 years, LSU has won one SEC championship. There are some things that need to happen besides hiring me. Davis to the 20. And among them, attention to facilities, and that, in part, taken care of by the enlargement of the stadium.
Yeah. You can talk facilities, you can talk previous records, but I've been here as a player in the early 60s. I've been here as a coach in the 80s. And when this crowd is with it, there is no place like this in all of college football, I might add, nor is there any place like it in the NFL. These people make a difference with their squad. It's tough to play against them when they get like this.
Booty faces 3rd and 6. Tillfield is back. And the pass is caught by Reed, who is still in the touchdown, Josh Reed! Wow! Should have been maybe 5-6 yards instead. With Reed's ability to initiate contact and run through it, it's 20. And they're a point away from a tie. That's the job of John Corbello, and he comes through.
Well, good job. Another out route. Booty's been hitting him all night, and then Reed turned into a running back. Prather's on the coverage. Nothing fancy, just an out route. Prather coming over. Right here, make the tackle. He's got his arms around him. You got to make it. There's the running back in Josh Reed right there.
All night long, we've talked about the instinct of this young man right here, Reed. Watch him stay in bounds. That is a phenomenal act of balance and will and skill.
That's almost as impressive as the catch and run itself. He's got a little hang time.
Oh, man.
I think there's a few athletes on this field.
What a player.
8 touchdown catches this year for Josh Reed. An 11-year high for LSU. That's the guy that's still getting used to the position.
Yeah. Now, what's he going to be like when he gets used to it? He averages 23.2 yards per catch, and now we're seeing why.
Leading receiver in the SEC, adding to his standing tonight. Walker and Huntington are deep. 14 unanswered points by LSU. Walker. To the 28.
Very important. That whole last sequence began, Mike, with a great tackle and special teams around the 10-yard line.
Yep.
Didn't happen this time. They got a nice run back outside the 25-yard line. It's a whole different football game. Football is a game of ball security, field position, and smashing. The field position is the second most important aspect.
I hope the smashing first.
Well, we need to talk about that, Mike. It is for you guys.
Hoping he can be heard. With the call at the line. Play action. Deep out. Broken up. Intended for Huntington. DeMond, who was burned on the second play of the game for 82 yards by Grindle, comes over and bats that one away. The true freshman who got the start.
That's a good job by him. That's forgetting about what happened early in the game. Coming back, ball hangs in the air a while. Gives him time to come over and make a play on it.
Well, he started at right corner. Last week, his first interception of his career. It clinched a shutout against Kentucky. Going again on 2nd and 10. He hopes. Had to throw it away. Bearing down on him was Kareem Mitchell. We send it down to Michelle.
Dave, Mississippi State looked stunned after that last LSU score. On the sidelines, players were shaking their heads. There were blank looks on players' faces. You know, it's a tie ball game, Dave, but the Bulldogs have an air of desperation about them. And I can tell you from being down here, right now they're just desperate to hear each other out there.
That much is obvious. I really got the feeling they thought it was probably over 31-17. And an LSU timeout, their first of the second half. 10:33 to go. First place on the line. Nothing decided yet by a long shot. Well, just a few minutes ago, Mississippi State on top of the world. They came in after an off week, after victories over Florida, 47-35, and Auburn, 17-10. Got a 14-point lead. That's gone. Their momentum is history. And now just trying to avoid a 3-and-out after the tying touchdown by the Tigers. 4 wides in the gun on 3rd and 10. Madkin going deep for Grindle, and through his hands, he again had beaten DeMond, but he couldn't bring this one in.
He did have a step, and it was a nice throw by Madkin. He just couldn't concentrate this time, and wow is right, Mike.
That is a catch you've got to make in this situation. He put it right there.
But this time, DeMond did get a flash in his eyes with his hand. And he's a very happy young freshman.
You're not kidding. Quit picking on me, guys.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
So the Dogs looking for another good one out of Cole. It's almost blocked. Well, the referee ready to throw that flag, and he put it back in his pocket. Fair caught by Davis. Rocky Good had all but tossed it. 49-yarder. The ESPN PGA Tour continues with the National Car Rental Classic beginning Thursday from Walt Disney World. And Tiger will be there to defend his title. Final round coverage can be seen next Sunday on ABC Sports. Thursday at 4 Eastern. It all begins, however, on ESPN.
Tigers in a tournament. Ratings are high.
Competition for second place begins Thursday.
Tigers in a tournament. Tiger wins.
Tigers in a real battle here, and big numbers for Josh Booty.
Speaking of which, the Tigers are back on out.
Those did pretty well for them. Both teams, actually. This toss sweep to Tofield. You remember, began this half with a costly fumble near his own end that led quickly to a Michigan State touchdown. Joe Lee Dunn's defense, giving up 24 yards per game, has been gashed for 137 tonight. The previous high was 87 in the opener by Memphis.
And that's where those brook trout stares come from. Hey, we're not used to this. There's the more. They are knocking them out of there. They're taking on the big guys, Mike, and they're just saying, hey, I'm going to knock you back. I don't care if you know what we're doing. You don't want to know what it sounds like inside that headgear? We can't tell you. But we can tell you how it sounds outside that headgear. There is a lot of smashing going on down there. Do it. Woo. That's that sound. That's fun. For the participants.
For them in the white, 3rd and 2. And movement before the shotgun snap. It's been a while since we've had a penalty. Not the time Nick Saban wanted to see this one.
No. 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. That was Dwayne Pierce, right guard.
Prior to the snap, false start, movement on the offensive line. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Now that seems like a small thing. That is a very, very big play. Dwayne's had a good night. He's a good blocker and a good player. But that is a very important mistake because there's such a difference in 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 7 against this kind of defense.
And to watch right there in motion, Reed. Rudy rolling his way. Fires for Robinson right at the stick. And he beat it by a foot.
Whether it's Reed or Robinson or Booty, we're seeing awareness here of what has to be done to win the game. Regardless of the circumstance, we're seeing awareness and football intelligence on the part of LSU's players.
Really a nice play. Again, it's the roll left, but he has 3 options. They're running the short, the middle, and the long. So even though when you roll out, you know you're taking at least half the field away from where you can throw. But when you're flooding 3 receivers into that area, at least your choices are a little more.
Jimbo Fisher doing a good job of play calling.
One of the bigger 3rd down conversions all night. So they can go back to the ground game. And the toss to Tofield. 5 yards on 1st down. Exactly what they hoped for. Fred Smoot makes the tackle. Quiet night for Fred. There aren't any quiet nights for him.
No, there is. I'm absolutely astounded at how well the LSU offensive line is blocking these guys. That was not poured up inside. That wasn't just hard running. That was a big hole.
First down, you're looking, you hope for 4 or more yards, and on 30 first downs, almost half of them. 5 there. He does have himself in his stuff there. And that's down they crowded at fullback. For a first down across the 45.
Well, when you're making 4 or 5 yards a pop on first down, you can do that. You can do the quick hitter because they might think you're coming off tackle or try that pitch around end. But no, you throw a bone to the big boy right up the gut who's been blocking all night. You say, okay, my man, here's your shot. He go ahead and gets you first down.
Banks, a 4-year starter, the only senior in the entire LSU backfield. They're going to throw in the bone now and then. They come through with the first down. Now back to Tofield. It's a hole for LaFranda. Another first down pickup. Or very close.
I'm telling you what this is becoming. Rob Sale, Lewis Williams, and Dwayne Pierce is a whooping for the whoopers. They are becoming the whoopies.
Michael Leonard, the fullback. What a block this is.
You know who that is he's blocking?
That's Hagan.
That's Mario Hagan.
Oh, look at him. He's driving him.
He's running over pigs, knocking him in the dirt. Gracious, these guys are not used to this stuff now. The question is, can LSU sustain it?
the 7-minute mark. Close to field goal range. Kofi runs through tackle. Morgan finally grabs him by the neck. 8 yards later, he's got a tackle, but a 25-yard gain for Tofield to the 17.
That was a brilliant play call. They caught him in a blitz, bringing the linebackers up the middle. Had the toss sweep call. Both linebackers are caught up inside. Watch Tofield explode. They're just hanging on now.
Guys, we don't even have to talk anymore. I mean, these pictures are telling it all. You're just watching one team dominate another team on the line of scrimmage right now.
It's called a whoop'em.
Best game before tonight anybody had against the Dog defense. 52 yards by BYU's Brian McDonald. Tofield over 100. And he rests as Dominic Davis takes it down to the 15. Let's go down to Michelle.
Well, Dave and Coach and Mike, LSU's offensive line play is especially surprising when you think back to what Jimbo Fisher, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday. In anticipation of State's vaunted defense, he had told his line, lock up and get run over slowly. Coach, they're doing better than that tonight.
Hey, they're locking up and running over, not slowly, but with vigor. They are playing so well.
The eye at the 16. 2nd and 7, Davis. To the 10. To the 3. First and goal.
And Michael, how about your fullback?
Let me tell you what, pick a fullback. Every fullback for LSU is destroying the linebackers for Mississippi State. This time it was Tommy Banks again. 275-pounder. Unbelievable. It's freezing out here to watch it. Boom! Look at it right here.
13 yards for Davis. Give it to Dominic again. Down near the goal line. Did he get there? Yes. Touchdown. LSU leads.
Michael, the woodshed. I mean, is it early to point out that the guys in the white shirts have just absolutely taken over this football game?
Wow. That's all I can say right now. John Corbello makes it 38-31. 21 unanswered, put up by the Tigers. Davis has 2 touchdowns. 5:24 left. Grassroots write-in campaign brewing here in Baton Rouge. Nick Saban, he's a uniter, not a divider.
You just couldn't resist it, could you? You think he exaggerates?
Nick, add Bill Curry, he got a birthday party.
Nick does not exaggerate, I'll say that for him.
The most points Mississippi State has surrendered all year had been 35 by Florida in a 12-point win for the Bulldogs. They've given up a new high, and if the defense can stay the way they've been since the 31-17 lead that Jackie Sherrill enjoyed what seems like just moments ago, with 5:18 to go, LSU will have a piece of first place.
And Coach Sherrill's getting ready to find out if this team has championship fiber, because this is what you got to do. You've got to drive it down and score if you really want to be champions, and then the defense has got to come back and fight too.
But not real encouraging, those numbers in the air for Madkin. Dante Walker with a flag down, thrown from the secondary. 7 yards at the play stand. Rocky Good will tell us.
Does his name go in your Hall of Fame too?
It's a good
Rocky
name.
Good.
You got to be tough if you're named Rocky.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Nick. apoplectic
Yep.
on this one.
Illegal substitution.
Participation, 12 men on the field on the defense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and a first down.
But that is an incredible mistake, to have 12 men on the field at a time like this in the game and take that football from the 20 to the 35-yard line. And you've got to remember that Mississippi State is a team that has a history of coming back again and again and winning in unlikely circumstances. They started that last year, and that will possibly sustain them here with the help of that penalty.
Only 11 out there now. 15 yards later. Walker left. Corner turn to the 45, close for a first down. We send it down to Michelle.
Dave, Wayne Madkin was by far the most composed player on Mississippi State's sideline during LSU's scoring drive. After the touchdown, he walked slowly toward his helmet. He actually looked up at me, sort of grinned, shook his head as if to say, well, I have to go and try and answer that. He put his helmet on and walked toward the field. He has true leadership skills. Mike Golick, I think you saw that as well when we talked to him yesterday.
Absolutely right, Michelle. He's got great poise. He shows it when he's talking to you. And just by that explanation by Michelle there, how he reacts when his team is down now is a perfect example of the guy that's leading the team.
Doing it again this year, 4-1. 19-7 overall. Reverse Brandon Butler. His first touch of the night, and a pickup of 14 yards and another Mississippi State first down. That's a wideout who also is the third-string quarterback. Brandon Butler out of Kenner, Louisiana.
Yep, this was going to be a pass, but he had the corner and his receiver was covered, so he just tucked it and ran for the first down. Nobody had contained on the backside. This is poor defense by LSU. Yep, Kendrick Allen was supposed to have contained. He lost contained. However, the coverage prevented a touchdown because that's what it would have been had the receiver not been covered.
Under 4 minutes, Bulldogs have all 3 of the timeouts. And they stay with the power running game. Stuffed after a gain of about 1.5 yards this time is Dante Walker.
But I'll tell you what's going to work with that power running game, because it's worked to get him with the aid of that penalty down the field on all runs. We showed Wade Mankin's numbers. They weren't good. So if he's just going to drop back and pass, he's going to have a tough time. But with the success of the run, now you'll see a little bit of play action that'll certainly help him out.
Walker picked up the yard. Second down, 40 yards.
LSU defense prides themselves on being strong up the middle. Clark and Falk needing to step up here. They run option for Walker. He cuts his way into the secondary where Fred Booker, the cornerback, makes the stop, and a huge third down coming up right here.
Oh, yeah, and our man Kendrick Allen, number 54, our automobile fixer, is having a rough time. He lost contain on the previous play. He had that play for a big loss. Did not come down with the ball carrier. Kendrick has just decided that he wants to be real serious about football, and he's getting a gut check right now, maybe for the first time in his career, being in this situation.
Walker out to Senzo Miller in. Just 3 of 9 tonight on third downs. They need 6. Just inside the 32. Madkin for Huntington. He makes the catch and stumbles to the 3 against Lionel Thomas. 34 yards, the catch of the night. Larry Huntington.
We see Madkin throw the touchdown pass to Grindle. We saw him throw another beautiful one. The Grindle dropped, and now we see another right on the money deep pass. Great touch. He's had bad numbers passing, but the bottom line is production. He's got his team first and goal on the 2-yard line. That is right there.
The pass, a winner, completes. Madkin's biggest throw since the second play from scrimmage, which got him off to the 7-0 lead. From the 3, first and goal, option pitch. Marker down, and Miller is down for a loss at the 7, and we might have an illegal motion penalty against Justin Griffith for the Bulldogs.
They're talking about fullbacks for both teams. both days. This is one of the few times we talk about him negatively.
Here's the call.
Illegal motion on the offense. Penalty is declined to 7 down.
That's a smart move. Decline that.
Loss of 4 anyway.
Absolutely.
Pork Chop Womack limping after that play, and they had sent Carl Hutchins in from the sideline to replace him. He waved him off. He's going to stay in.
Pork Chop wants to win this football game. This offense has made its statement. Now it's got to finish this part of its job.
Griffith and Miller in the eye. Miller to the 6 and Swan. They'll use their first timeout as we near the 2-minute mark.
What a stick. What a stick by Trev Falk.
That was a great
That's the
stick.
way you play middle linebacker. That right there is the way you lead your team.
And I tell you what, I got to say this quickly about Pork Chop Womack. We talked to him. He's played with a stress fracture in his leg all year long. He does not practice during the week. He gets bandaged up like this for the game, obviously limping, telling his backup, get off the field, I'm going to play. You want to talk about toughness. That's a 346-pound man putting pressure on that stress fracture every time he takes a step, but he's not leaving the field. I love that. Love that dedication.
Well, with a timeout and 2:05 remaining, let's ask our Aflac trivia question, shall we? In the last 50 years, which is the only SEC team to allow fewer than 50 rushing yards per game for an entire season?
Well, if it goes back almost 50 years ago, Bill, I'm going to go to you for the answer.
Well, you might think Mississippi State. No, LSU.
Wow.
In the heyday of Charlie Mack, 1969, 39 yards a game on the ground. Well, State in 2000 challenging that record, but the Tigers 2000 version with their season teetering right here. If they win, they're in a tie for first. They control their destiny. If they win out, their final 3 games, finish 8-3, they have the SEC West title for the first time. All that taking a backseat in the mind of Saban, just avoiding overtime here. Turning it back on 3rd and goal from the 6.
Bill, I believe there's no doubt this is 2-down territory. There's no need to try a field goal here. So
2-down territory, and they ought to run the option. Really? Play for them. They should run the option right here.
Pork Chop still in, split backs. Normally meeting, a pass from Madden. Well protected to the end zone. Caught. Griffith, touchdown.
See there?
perfect option.
That was an option route. Griffith had the option to either cut it in or out. No, that was a brilliant play call. The fullback in the flat, tough to cover. Man coverage, a linebacker didn't get out there with him, and a perfect throw from Madkin to complete the drive.
A cool customer.
Yes, he did. Yes, he is, and he did it so 4 times last year. So it's not something that's new to him. And they were aided enormously by the 15-yard penalty because of 12 men on the field at LSU.
Westerfield has missed only 1 PAT all year. You know he's not going to mess this one up. Tied at 38 with 1:59. One more look at the score and throw. Madkin to the sophomore from Sanatorium, Mississippi, Justin Griffith.
Good job on the protection. LSU bringing some people up the middle. You see, he's got nobody in his face. Man coverage, fullback on linebacker. Linebackers got to be able to cover a fullback. Brady James has got to be able to be there.
I cannot tell you the relief for a head coach. It's so much fun to hold up that finger and say 1. We're going to go for 1 here. On the other side.
You've been there too, haven't you?
Well, I've been there too many times. For God's sakes, can't you run a little faster, Brady? Run with that fullback.
Back to the first of that drive. The 15 yards they donate. 12 men on the field.
Yep, and they did not make the big hit in special teams. You think back to the previous time when they did get them stopped. They tackled him inside the 20 and didn't give him yardage. We got us a heck of a game.
And this has not been the Tigers' favorite situation to be in. They have lost 10 of their last 11 decided by 7 or less. Streak with the exception of the Tennessee overtime win last month.
And a bit of a roller coaster ride tonight, huh?
Just a little bit. Season has been, the night has been. Appropriately so. Davis. Get him out to the 30 in a minute 52. And 2 timeouts left. This is a long time ago, but worth revisiting. Remember what happened to Brandon Cofield on what was ruled the first touchdown for LSU. Ooh. Yep. Big Prather knocked it free inside the 1, clearly before he crossed the goal line, but we gave him the 6. That looms pretty large right now, especially for Mississippi State fans.
Huge break for LSU to have them in this game right now because of that play in part.
Rudy had led him to 21 unanswered points, and he comes right back and starts this drive with a gain of about 9 to Gerald Myers. Didn't get out of bounds, though. Clock rolls. Overtime, anybody?
I got nowhere to go.
There's a lot of time on the clock. Either one of these teams could end up in a field goal kicking situation depending on execution and defense here.
From center, Booty fires, and it's dropped by Myers, and he can't believe it. Right in his hands.
I like what Booty's doing as far as in the pocket. He had room to run there. He could have easily made the first down, but he waited until one of his receivers broke free. And the receiver did, and just didn't hang on to the ball. Certainly having a nice throwing night there.
He has such a quick release. Got to be impressed with Booty's progress in this game.
Haven't seen Davey tonight. Rohan on the bench. 441 total yards engineered by Booty. 2, he's got to get here. And he throws it deep into coverage, and it is incomplete. Intended for Reed.
Ill-advised throw.
Absolute. Now, all night we've been talking well about it, and now it's 3rd and 2, and you throw it. Get the first down. Yep. Get the first down. Move the chains like you've been doing it all night. The rollout fine. You have all your options over there. Nobody's short though on the option, just deep. Don't like the call there.
You can't blame him for the route that was called.
No,
that
don't
was
like
a poor decision to throw that into double coverage.
This is what they did not want to have to do. Send Donnie Jones out there. Not much of a kick either. You got to hope for a bounce, and he gets one, and Huntington takes it. A return to the 36 with 59 seconds and 2 timeouts remaining. Now in the hands of Madkin. Bring him down and at least get him in the field goal range. And for their kicker, Westerfield, his longest of the year is 43. The longest of his career is 51.
Yeah, and you do not want to give Wayne Madkin the football in this situation with this much time. He's just won too many games. He's too confident. He's too poised.
Porkchop Womack unable to go back out there for this series as Carl Hutchins takes his place at left tackle.
Well, no doubt the coaches just feel he can't move well enough. And you're talking about the quarterback's blind side. You don't want someone coming free on the blind side.
I'd like the Porkchop though. Badly all year with a stress fracture. And at least for the time being gets the better of it. Hard to believe Madkin can be heard from the gun. But here they go with 4 wides, and down he goes, and they knock it free. Tigers say they haven't, but quickly the indication is otherwise. At the 32, I think that's Hutchins on the bottom of that pile.
Well, he better because he's the one who gave up.
Tommy Watson.
Yeah, Hutchins is the one who gave up the rush. We just talked about him coming in for Porkchop, and he just got run by. The right of the screen.
He let it go. Jeremy Lawrence went by him so fast he gave him a head cold. The breeze.
They're letting the clock roll, too. Not using the timeouts. Adkins sneaking. And now the clock stops with 18.9 seconds. That's rather curious there. Let it roll as long as they did and finally do use a timeout.
Second time prior to the half, and now poor clock management by Mississippi State's offensive staff. Not a good job. If you're going to run it out, run it out. If you're going to throw it, have a plan, get the clock stopped, and keep moving.
It looked like they had decided to run it out, take the chances in OT. One timeout left now. And with 18 seconds, you're looking at maybe 2 more plays to get it down to Westerfield's field goal range.
Well, it's third down because we had a sack and then the run. Now, if they run the ball and don't try and go for it, if I'm LSU, I'm calling a timeout. Stop the clock, make it fourth, and go for the punt block.
You're right. They haven't changed the down marker on the field or on the scoreboard. They're still both showing 2nd and 14. They have run 2 plays.
And shockingly, that's the first sack of the game.
Yeah.
Both offensive lines and the backs have done a good job. The quarterbacks have done a good job of throwing on rhythm. And that's the first time anybody's been knocked down while standing in the pocket as a quarterback.
Do I seem wrong?
What they've decided is they called the timeout before that.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So it is still 2nd and 14.
I was losing my mind then.
Senzo Miller keeps his feet. Look out here. Fred Booker finally shoves him out at the 44, and with 8.3 seconds left, a 24-yard run.
Got to do it now. Out route and field goal.
Oh, yeah. With this many quality athletes, especially with a back like DeCenzo on the field, you just can't relax at all. And again, Coach Saban's trying to teach these guys how to win.
In his career, 10 of 14, 40-plus, every miss 46 or beyond. And right now, if they don't get anything on this play, have to trot him out from 60, 61 yards.
You got a timeout left, so you can even dump it to the middle of the field quickly if you want.
Madkin throws it away, and he has only a 2.5 seconds left.
No idea. Bill, I absolutely don't understand that call. You have a timeout. You can throw it to them. You can throw it anywhere you want on the field and take a shot at a field goal to win this game, and you throw it deep. I don't buy that one at all.
I do not either. And as I said prior to this, Mississippi State's got work to do on their clock management prior to the half and at the end of the game. It's remarkable that they have won as many as they have. Surely they've done better than they have tonight in prior games.
You will not see Westerfield. Not for a 61-yarder. It'll be 10 yards better than his best ever. So we'll see Madkin take one more deep try. And you'll see the Tigers string 6 defensive backs. All about 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And they won't even try through the air. Miller runs us into overtime. Boy, what a show Mississippi State and LSU have given us at Tiger Stadium tonight. 60 minutes in, still nothing decided to battle for first place in the SEC West. Back for overtime after this. We're back for overtime in Death Valley, and it's thanks to Wayne Madkin's tying touchdown drive, which brought it to 38 all. This game, at one time or another, looked like it was won by both Mississippi State and LSU. Josh Booty had led the Tigers to 21 unanswered points. They had a 38-31 lead. On the ensuing drive, they started with 12 men on the field, and a 15-yard penalty ended their defensive momentum. Madkin was able to get the tying touchdown pass to Griffith, and we head to overtime. And a quick review of the Division 1A overtime rules. They will toss the coin, and you get a chance to choose offense, defense, or your end of the field. Most want the defense out there to decide what they need when they get their offense out there. Each team one possession from the opponent 25 until we get a winner. No clock. After the second overtime, you must go for 2.
And you said it, most teams will choose defense just to see what the offense will do and what they'll get, and then know what they need on the other end of it.
I think the key factor in this game right now that both coaching staffs must realize is that both defenses are exhausted. Both defenses have been hammered. They're not tackling very well. People are running through tackles on both sides of the ball, and that will affect the play calling, I think, enormously. We might see a pretty conservative set of plays called here by both teams.
3 games ago for LSU, they had what to this point in the season is their signature win, and it was in overtime right here against Tennessee, September 30th, 38-31. So Rocky Good going over the rules.
Won the toss. They elected to play defense. LSU has chosen this end of the field.
And we know why they chose that end of the field.
And why is that, Michael?
There's a whole lot of students down there that had a long day before this game and are a wild crowd.
Do you think they know what's going on, Michael?
I think they will be very loud.
You didn't answer my question.
What's that?
Do you think they know what's going on?
Oh, I think they have absolutely an idea of what's going on.
So they're utterly lucid. I mean, they're right into this thing.
Enough to know to yell real loud when Wayne Madkin goes under center. That's all they need to know right now.
Oh, I think you're right. Sound like you might have played here a time or two.
Rather an unusual occurrence for both teams. As you saw, State 0-1, LSU 1-1 in their history. LSU takes it first with a toss to Tofield and a gain of Key.
Well, this is one of those games where the coaches get him on the sideline and say, fellas, whatever happened in the game, wipe the slate clean. It's what you do right now that's going to decide it all.
Know that really momentum really plays a factor.
No, I don't think it does. I agree with you. I do not think it does.
Both had it, both lost it. LSU has had trouble on the shotgun snap. That one rolls to Booty, and he still gets the pass off, and Robinson fights for the first down. Mercy. That's the third baseman, and Josh Booty coming in handy.
What a play. That's a first baseman play.
Are there
down with that thing?
Are there athletes on this field? This is just amazing.
Well, that one right there has done himself proud on this night. Reggie Robinson has made play after play, contorting his body to get his feet in bounds with footballs in his hand. What a nice job.
Back under center this time from Lewis Williams. And they sweep Tofield, cuts it back to the goal line. Touchdown, LSU. On top of the OT, 13 yards. Didn't take long.
You look at the body language of the Mississippi State defense, I have never seen them like this. They have been knocked around. They're exhausted.
Bello makes it 45-38. Another look at the 13-yard run.
Big-time blocking by Rodney Reed, number 60. Robert Royal, 86. Nice job. Here comes Sale around the corner as he has so often tonight. He gets in somebody's way, and Josh Morgan can't keep the powerful back out of the end zone. Wonderful running by Tofield. Now is the other defense equally exhausted. We could be here a while. How many overtimes did we go last year in the Division II championship, Dave? 4. Yeah.
You're going to hear the students now.
College football scoreboard coming up. Now Madkin and the Bulldogs offense must answer. They start with Miller, looks for room on the right side, not breaking the tackle this time. Booker got him. Clark was there. No gain.
Good job. That's a free safety. That's him way up here. This is closing to the ball right here. You see it, you close, and you make the tackle with a little help from your friends.
They relayed by Williamson back to Miller, who takes the option pitch right side, stuck again, a gain of 2. Trev Falk gets him this time. Nobody's tired down there now.
They're playing really hard and really well. Now they've got to do it 2 more times.
And Miller is still on his back.
Well, what Mississippi State has to understand here, just get the first down. This does not have to be a pass to the end zone. Try and keep the drive going, get the first down. Stay in this game.
Yeah, and a really courageous effort by DeCenzo Miller tonight, coming out of the sick bed to play as well as he has.
17 carries, 118 yards for a guy that was hospitalized with gastrointestinal problems just a couple of days ago. Dante Walker checks in. Malkin looking at the play clock, hurrying everybody up. 4 wides on 3rd and 8. Into the middle to Walker, and he's short of the first down at the 17. 1 more shot at it for Madkin.
Well, that's opening up the playbook. You've run about everything. Throw the middle screen in there now. Let the D lineman come up. Dump it right over the middle.
Nice call. Nice call by Sparky Woods.
Fred Booker down.
Fatigue is such a factor when you get into overtime in a game that's been this intense.
Send it down to Michelle Tafoya quickly.
Well, Dave, it would be a shame if Fred Booker can't return to this game. He was the defensive cheerleader just before the defense took the field, walking up and down the LSU bench, getting into the faces of his defensive teammates, repeating one sentence: "We need 1 stop." And he asked them all one question: who wants to go play some defense? It was very obvious Fred Booker wanted to be out here to be part of this stop of Mississippi State.
Well, they help him up. We'll see if he's still going to be a part of it.
Well, he's going to have to go off, and it's coming down.
Looks like he's fine, though.
Yep, and he's going to come. It is coming down to that 1 play right now.
He's replaced by Demetrius Hookson. 4th and 2. State must get to the 15 at least, or it's over. Madkin rolling, keeping, he didn't get there. LSU wins it. And Nick Saban gets his answer. The team that's been up and down all year long stays up just long enough to squeeze out a wild overtime win over the number 14 team in the country, and they control the SEC West. They drop the Bulldogs to 4-2, 2-2 in league play, and the Tigers now 5-3. 3-2. 1 more look at the last gasp.
He tried to do all he could do. Rolling left. He knows where the sticks are. LSU has too many people there.
Boy, for Nick Saban, what a first year in Death Valley. In the last month, an overtime win over Tennessee. And tonight, an overtime win over Mississippi State. And he is with Michelle.
All right, thank you very much, Coach Nick Saban. I mean, this was an incredible finish. To go into overtime, you knew you were going to be facing a very physical, tough Mississippi State team. Did you think this game would go this way?
Well, no, I thought it'd be a low-scoring game, and our offense did a great job in the football game. This is a great win for our fans and great win for our team. And, you know, we always preach playing for 60 minutes to our players, and to be able to come from behind was just a great win for us.
You know, at halftime, you told your defense, we're not playing very well right now in this first half. You better go out there and play. What did they do to impress you in the second half?
Well, we got a turnover that led to a score, but they had a couple drives on us, but we made some stops to where we could get back into the game, and I think that was the key to the game. And again, the offense did a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage, running the football, and Josh Booty played a great game as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Josh Booty. He'd been forcing some things. He didn't seem to do that too often tonight.
Well, he played within himself and did an outstanding job of executing the offense, and we made the plays when we had to make them, and I'm just proud as heck of our players.
And now you guys have as good a chance as anyone in the SEC West. Your thoughts on the remainder of the season?
Well, I think we need to take them one game at a time. We got a bye week. I think we can use it. We play Alabama next, and we'll focus on them and see what we can do when that game comes up.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Dave, back upstairs.
Just before he runs totally out of any vocal power at all. Nick to the locker room with a big win. They do have a week off. Then they got Alabama here. They go to Ole Miss and Arkansas to finish out the year, but it's in their hands. If they win the rest, they win the West, and they go to Atlanta. Again, our final score in overtime. LSU 45, number 14 Mississippi State 38. And for Michelle Tafoya, Bill Curry, and Mike Golick, Dave Barnett saying good night from Baton Rouge. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Back to the studio we go and restate.